think I'm alive, but I don't know if I'm alive, and I don't know if you can hear me either. So, how come I can't see myself? Hang on a minute. I knew this wouldn't go well. I don't like doing this sort of thing. You see, I can't edit out my fat belly. I can normally edit out the fat belly. Right, I can see I can see that fat belly on my big telly. So, right, I'll just check, folks, that I can hear myself. Hang on, there might be some feedback. Right. Oh, good. Right. Oh, well, look, I've actually got some cleaners set up behind me. Oh, it's very annoying because I'm on a I'm on a delay on what I'm looking at you. I've only just moved back on my television. Well, I've been here 10 minutes. So I've got a few vacuums out. These, no rhyme, no reason why I've got these ones. They just happen to be the easiest to grab. In this video, I'll be doing a live unboxing of a vacuum I received today. I won't be switching it on in this video, and you'll see why when I open it, and I'll just be playing around with some vacuums. We'll be turning on this Electrolux that sounds a little bit better than it did when I first unboxed it. A little bit of grease works wonders. So, right, I think I'm ready. Let's reveal myself. There we go. Oh, I'm a bit red in the face. I knew I shouldn't have done that face pack, you know. Anyway, it's taken a couple of years off at least. So hopefully you can all hear me. I'm using a new mic. Part of it's, I'm filming on an iPad. So please don't say in the comments, why is it blurry? Why is it in 4K? Why isn't it in 4K? It's because I'm doing this live. I'm here live. And to prove it, how can I prove I'm live? What can I do? What's the time? It's about 8:05. I'm a bit late. Oh, happy 4th of July to my American viewers, and happy 4th of July to my Canadian viewers who celebrate it a bit later, I think. I am hot. I've been rushing around, just bringing some vacuums down to give you something to look at, apart from my ugly face. I've got a few ideas of what I'm going to do in this video, but it's all very rough. You'll just have to, you know, take me as you find me, so to speak. I'm going to have a drink because, yeah, and it is alcoholic. I'm okay. If I only have one, 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 have one. Who knows what may happen, but that will be after 9 o'clock, after the watershed, when I get down and dirty. I was thinking of wearing, I've still got it. I doubt it fits. I was thinking of wearing my Captain America costume. I think that was a Thanksgiving video. I wore that particular outfit, and Captain America bought me a lovely American Hoover Portable, if you remember. Right, what's this live stream about? I don't know. I'll just take a swig of my strawberries and cream cider. Oh dear, you'll probably be able to hear it going down with this mic here. I hope the sound's okay. Put 1 in the comments if the sound's okay. Put 2 in the comments if you want me to speak up. And put 3 in the comments if you, I don't know, if you just can't be bothered. I forgot what I was saying. I can't stay like this for long. Yeah, that's good there because it covers up the belly. I'm wearing an ibaisaic jumper. Now, this is not one you can have made yourself from Amazon. This is a genuine Hoover. Oh, sorry about that. You might have picked up something. I must remember. This is a genuine Hoover embroidered ibaisaic. I was given one. I know it's a genuine one because I was given a white one with red lettering when I visited Hoover in their Perivale head office in the early 80s. Well, it was about 85, I think. 84 or 85. I think it was 84. Because in their foyer upstairs, they had the second generation of Sensortronics all laid out, you know, on different platforms, and some potted palms and spotlights and a big picture at the back. Right then, I'll just check everything's fine in the comments. Right, no, I don't have a I can't use that. Very red in the face, aren't I? I was going to go. The trouble is using an iPad all the time. I've now got my MacBook to look at your comments because they're a bit bigger and I can see them. And I was going to do that. Why haven't Apple done a MacBook that you can do that with on the screen as well as what's it? But anyway, but I tell you what, I was looking through a brochure in a bathroom showroom, looking at taps or something, and I'm that used to going like that. I almost went like that with this brochure because I'm always doing that. I'm always going like that on my iPad. Always looking at eBay. Right. Oh dear, what's happened? Oh, something's happened. Hang on. Let me just have a look. Just check it. I'll have to keep checking your comments because I could be talking to myself and I wouldn't know. Thank you very much. Oh, I can't read it. Trouble is, I've got lenses in, and I can't see things very close. I tried it before I went live. I tried it with one lens. I put one lens in and had one eye unlensed, and I still couldn't see anything, even going like this. So, or shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that because that will mean I'm one of them. Well, I am one of them, but you know, one of the Illuminati covering up, and I shouldn't be doing all these things. So I'll try and. I'm not Illuminati. I'm just an absolute nutcase who likes vacuum cleaners. Oh, I look awful, don't I? On that, I can see myself on a big 50-inch 4K screen. Well, I won't be in 4K. I'll be in high def. Those vacuums look lovely, though. We've all come for the vacuums. So, hello, Western. Is it Gal? Thank you for the $2. I don't think I'll see any of that. So it's very nice for your contribution, but I think YouTube take most of that. So save your money, but thank you very much anyway. I might get 50 cents of that if I'm lucky, because YouTube, you know, they like to take. Not that I'm moaning about YouTube, because it's because of YouTube I'm here. So thank you, YouTube. Grovel, grovel. Right. I'm just adding a few moderators. So people I sort of know. I don't know, but I don't know anyone. See, but there's people I recognise. So I'm giving them moderating status. So watch your language, folks. Moderators, don't get power hungry though, will you? If you say any obscenities, then yes, get rid, please. Hello, Shane. He's from Ohio, USA. Jerome Davis says, Happy 4th. Happy 4th to you. We don't celebrate it here, obviously. Right. Hello, Rick Hoover from Pennsylvania. Hello, Teresa Walker. I thought I've made Teresa a moderator. Is she not showing as a moderator? Oh, she is. I think I can trust Teresa somehow. I think so. Oh, a message been. Hello, Vacuum Ad 8. Where have you been? Vacuum Ad 8. Been very quiet of late. Get back on the YouTube, please. I'm sure a lot of people would like you back, but I understand if you can't for any reason. Some of us have to keep going on YouTube because, you know, we're obsessed. But if you're taking a break, I hope you're okay. Jerome loves the sounds of vacuums, washers, dryers, and dishwashers. Well, we might hear some vacuum. Well, we will hear some vacuums today. And maybe we'll even hear a washing machine. Who knows? I have got a load in ready because I know I'll get someone saying, "Can I see your mealer? Can you point at it?" And I will. So I've already prepped for that because I thought somebody's going to want to see the mealer. But at the moment, my iPad is attached to a Dubry, so I'll have to unplug. So you'll have to forgive me for that. Matthew, I can't read that. It's my lenses. Hey Roger, can you please do a video comparison of the Dyson Animal Multi-Ball? No, I will not be doing that. You keep asking me. I don't even know where that Hoover Professional dual purpose doodah is. I think it's in my storage unit. I will probably do a comparison though, because it's more relevant of the Dyson ball compared to the Stratos, because they are current machines from two major manufacturers, similar sort of prices when they're on offer. So I think that is a reasonable thing to compare. But since unboxing the Shark, I must say that Dyson hasn't been used. The Shark has, you know, it's not perfect, but I just prefer to use it to the Dyson. But, you know, that's just me, you know, just for my house, I just prefer using the Shark. Um, um, I'll try and make the text bigger somehow. I don't know how. Oh, there we go. I've made it bigger, but I've lost half of it, so I can't do that. Might be, oh, I'm trying to see. Where am I going to? No, you see, it doesn't appear on my big telly. That's a shame. Oh, I'm only doing this because my other half's watching some gentleman called Sting, I think. I think he used to be a policeman or something. Anyway, this Sting person has come to my town and he's singing. So I can't normally do this sort of thing unless I've got the house to myself. So that's why I'm here. I thought I might as well. I've been going live on my other channel, Lodger's Bits and Doings, a fair bit. So I can't just stay here and look at your chat, can I, folks? I'll just. Right. Right. Samuel says, have I seen the new Kobold VK7? I don't know. Is that the cordless one? I've seen a new cordless one. I can't think I'll be buying one of those. I just feel mugged. I mean, I feel an idiot for spending that much money on the Vorwerks, to be honest. I mean, they didn't force me at gunpoint to buy them, but every time I look at them, I think, oh, why? Because I'd never be able to sell. Well, I can sell them on, but I'd lose that much money. It'd be like me buying an electric car and then selling it on and losing all the money after a few months or a couple of years or whatever, because they depreciate quite a lot, apparently. I am selling a few vacuums on eBay at the moment. I've just sold one about an hour before this video, my Samsung Doodah Jet Pro 90 thingy, you know, with the self-emptying what's it, although I'm selling that separate. Oh yes, Sting is still going apparently. My partner's been to see a lot of pop and roll bands in our local town. He saw a band called Embrace, which I believe are a local band, and he saw George Ezra, is it? And he's seen the Ministry of Sound orchestral doodah. And I think, who else is he going to see? There's some other people. I'm not interested. You know, if Barbara Dixon's not doing it, I'm not watching. She is coming, is Babs, to my hometown, but not until Feb. Right. What vac do you go to? What vac do you use the most? It says Hamza. Whatever's handy, really. Whatever's the flavour of the month. You know, it's normally the latest vacuum I've opened. So at the moment, it's sort of the Shark, although I've rediscovered Henry Quick a couple of days ago and I've been playing with Henry Quick. I've been using my cordless Shark, been using the Sebo a bit because it's normally in the hall. What else have we been using? No, that's about it for, you know, it just, I never use the same all the time. I get bored using the same vacuum. So I just grab something that takes my fancy. Oh, you've got good taste, Elfin Knight. He says he loves Barbara Dixon. She is a good Scottish lass. Well, she's not a lass. She's a bit of an older lady now, but she can still belt out a good tune. Right. Oh, thank you, Lisa. She's plugging my Facebook. Plug Bits and Doings as well. Nobody watches that. A few people do. Right. Shall we get on? Now, because it could get a bit blue, you know, as I said, once the alcohol starts affecting me, I could be doing all sorts, swearing, exposing myself. So I'll try and save that bit till after 9. So if any younger viewers are watching, I'd like them to go to bed. So I'm going to read you a bedtime story for the younger viewers. I'll skip through it. I don't know how long it is. I was going through some books on I did a live on my Bits and Doings channel, and I was going through some books, mainly vacuum cleaner related, and there were some kiddies books, and I've got this one. This is Postman Pat's Julian and the Vacuum Cleaner. Julian, I think Julian will be grown up now and probably living with somebody called Tarquin. I'm just guessing. I can't really do this, can I? I can't really show you the pictures. Anyway, Julian's a ginger, look. There he is. Vacuuming with quite an old-fashioned looking Hoover Junior type. So we'll quickly, so if any younger viewers, you'd like to go to bed, right, take your iPad with you, and then I'll read you this story. I don't think there'll be any swearing in it, or, I mean, it's an oldish book, so there'll be nothing about gender changing and all that, and pronouns. I don't think that's in this book because it's a few years old. It was Pat's day off on Monday. Julian was at school. I'll do the vacuuming, said Pat. I'll be losing loads of viewers. Bear with. He started in the kitchen. What a lot of crumbs. Oh, sorry. What a lot of crumbs, said Sarah. That's Sarah there, look. Is it Sarah? Oh, no, sorry, it's Sarah. The vacuum cleaner zoomed round the kitchen. It sucked at the crumbs and the dust. It growled and roared at the carpet as if it wanted to frighten the dirt away. And there's a little cat. I think that's Jess. Jess is running away just like my Molly over there who's asleep. Runs away from the vacuum. Daisy doesn't. She doesn't move, does she, when I'm near her? She just... Right. Oh, heck. So he's busy. He's done the cleaning. Here he is. Then it went whiz, pop, bang. Ah, I bet it's a suppressor. It stopped. It was very quiet and still. Oh dear, said Pat. Have you broken my cleaner? Said Sarah. I think so, said Pat. Pat's accent's all over the place. Sorry about that. I was trying to do a bit of Welsh, and now I'm going into Yorkshire. Julian came home from school. Katie and Tom were with him. They had come to play on their bikes. What's up, Dad? Said Julian. It's this vacuum cleaner, said Pat. I think it's dead. You'd better use mine, said Julian. Good idea, said Pat. Julian's got a vacuum. A young boy, he's got a vacuum. How odd? Has Julian got his own cleaner? Said Katie. Yeah, said Pat. Julian wheeled out his vacuum cleaner, and it looks like another Hoover Junior. Oh, this is thrilling. I haven't read it myself. Can't wait to see what happens. It's a smart one. Oh, sorry. It's a smart one, said Tom. Why has Julian got one of his own? Said Katie. Now then, said Pat. There's a story about that. Tell us, said Tom. All right then, said Pat. I will. I'm very red. I'm very shy and embarrassed. This is a story that Pat told them. When Julian was 4, what he liked best of all was to help with the vacuuming. He loved the way the cleaner had a light, like a car's headlamp, that lit up all the secret places under the settee and chairs and found lost toys and sweets. He loved the way it growled and roared and sucked up the dirt and filled its bag like a big fat belly. So this is before bagless vacuums. Sometimes we would let him push it or switch it on and off, and look at him. There he is. Not very good filtration on that vacuum. Look at all that dust cloud. It's like that character in Charlie Brown. He always had a load of muck around him, didn't he? I don't know his name. Then, when Christmas was getting near, he said, I want a vacuum cleaner. A vacuum? Said Sarah. A vacuum, said Miss Hubbard. Who's Miss Hubbard? Oh, when she called with the parish magazine. A vacuum, said Julian, for Christmas. I don't know if Father Christmas... Oh, sorry. I don't know if Father Christmas has any, said Sarah. He has, said Julian. He does have, because I've had some off Father Christmas, as well as Elton John. I haven't had much from Elton recently. Why does he want a vacuum, said Miss Hubbard. He just loves them, said Sarah. You can have a go with your mothers, said Miss Hubbard. I don't want Mum's, said Julian. I want my own. Too right. Christmas came, look. Oh, Christmas. It will be Christmas soon, won't it, folks? Christmas came. Sorry, am I shouting? Probably ruining all this. Christmas came. There were lots of parcels for Julian. Not one of them was big enough to have a vacuum cleaner in it. Where's my vacuum? Said Julian. Oh, it sounds like something I'd have done. He wouldn't look at any of the presents. I wanted a vacuum of my very own, he wailed. I told you Father... Oh, sorry. Oh, I told you Father Christmas wouldn't have one, said Sarah. It isn't the sort of things that little boys usually ask for. This is a fantastic book. Miss Hubbard called in with a bottle of rhubarb wine. Dry your eyes, said Miss Hubbard. There's a shop in Pencaster. I'll have a look when they open after Christmas. I think they might have a vacuum. Promise, said Julian. Promise, said Miss Hubbard. Julian opened his presents and played with his train set, but it's no match for a vacuum. If you want a vacuum and you get a train set, there's no substitute. When Christmas was over and the shops were open again, Miss Hubbard came to see Julian. She had a parcel for him. See what I've bought for you, she said. But it wasn't big enough for a vacuum. All the same, Julian opened the parcel because Miss Hubbard had promised. And there he is, with a very small package. It was only a toy. You had to put batteries in it, then it made a whizzing noise, but it didn't suck anything up, and it didn't make a growly noise like Sarah's vacuum cleaner. Julian looked sad. I want a proper vacuum, he wailed. Ungrateful so-and-so, isn't he? Look at that. You should be grateful. That lovely Miss Hubbard. She can't afford a real vacuum for, especially a Dyson or something. She's on a pension. So she's, out of the goodness of her heart, she's given that ungrateful so-and-so. Oh, I've gone off him. Oh, and so has Sarah. Sarah got cross. A vacuum cleaner is not a toy, she said. Cleaners are for grown-ups. They're not for little boys. Now, don't be a crybaby and say thank you nicely to Miss Hubbard. It was very kind of her to bring you a present. Thank you, Miss Hubbard, said Julian, but he still looked sad when he went off to bed. What are we going to do? Said Sarah. He won't even push my vacuum now. He wants one of his own and nothing else will do. Julian would not stop pestering about his vacuum. It looks as if you'll have to get him one, said Miss Hubbard, next time she came for tea. Do you know what they cost? Said Sarah. More than we can afford. There's always higher purchase, love. The never, never, catalogues. But Julian would not stop asking for a proper vacuum. He went on and on. He wouldn't play with anything. He wouldn't eat his dinner. This is ridiculous, I said. We should have known anyway. I said, who said? I'm getting all confused. You know what our Julian's like when he sets his heart on something. Have you any idea how much these things cost? Said Sarah. We already have one. Whoever heard of a family with 2 vacuums? I know, it's weird, isn't it? 2 vacuums, freaks. Then we had a piece of luck. The old alarm clock went whiz-bang and stopped forever on Monday morning. That was after I'd gone off with my letters. Oh, this is Pat talking. So Sarah had no idea what time it was. That reminded her that she had taken her watch to Ted Glenn to get it mended. Goodness knows how long ago. Ted once kept a clock of Miss Hubbard's for 5 years before he remembered to mend it. So she jumped on my bike and went round to see Ted. Aye, aye. And what do you think she saw in the corner of his workshop? Her watch, said Katie. Katie's speaking up now. No, not her watch. A vacuum cleaner. A lovely big old-fashioned one of those with a headlamp, like a car. It was a beauty. Hello, Ted, Sarah said. That's a lovely vacuum you've got there. Are you mending it? I've mended it, said Ted. It only needed a new fuse. The Reverend bought a new one in Pencaster before I got round to taking it back to him. So he doesn't want this one now. He told me to put it out for the dustbin men. The dustbin men? Gasped Sarah. You can't throw a lovely old machine like that away. Nobody'll want to buy it now they've got them new ones, said Ted. Everybody's getting them. I do, said Sarah. Take it, said Ted. You're welcome. I don't want any money for it. And there is Ted, look, with a big bushy moustache there. I won't say what that means, but, well, some of you will know what that signifies. I think he's a clone. Thanks, she said. Thanks very much, Ted. Sarah was so pleased that she forgot to ask him about her watch. She wheeled that old vacuum and the bike all the way home, and that reminds me. Can you see Sarah wheeling that? I used to do that. I used to wheel vacuum cleaners, bounced on my bike from York to the village I used to live 2.5, 3 miles away, and then smuggle them into the house when my mum and dad weren't looking. So I know what that's like. And when she switched it on, it worked perfectly. It sucked better than hers. She hid it in the broom cupboard. Broom cupboard. I'm having flashbacks of Philip Schofield. When Julian came home from school, she said, I have a surprise for you. Go and look in the cupboard. My vacuum, said Julian with shining eyes. Your very own, she said. And it was a real full-sized vacuum with a kit of tools and a light on the front. It had a lovely growl when he switched it on. Oh, look at that. Despite the fact that he was rather a nasty little child, he got what he wanted, but you really shouldn't. You know, that's just teaching kids. If you moan and sulk, you get what you want. Well, that's not a good message for children, is it? I wouldn't do such a thing. Now Julian was happy. He vacuumed every day. He vacuumed the carpets all over the house. Sarah helped him to put the tools on, and he vacuumed all of Jess's hairs off the settee. Jess didn't like it. He ran away and hid in the garden until Julian had switched it off. On Friday, I said to Julian, there's someone special coming to see us tomorrow, so I hope you'll help us do a really good clean-up and make the house look nice. Who's coming? Said Julian. Mr. Lum, I said. He's the head of the post office for the whole northwest England. I expect Mrs. Lum will come as well. They're coming for dinner. We'll see what we can do, said Julian. On Saturday, Sarah and Julian set to work with 2 vacuum cleaners growling and roaring around the house while I was out with the morning delivery. That's nice and smart, said Sarah. Thanks for being such a good help, young Julian. Then, just as dinner was nearly ready, Jess tipped a plate of biscuits onto the best carpet. Then he jumped on the biscuits, and soon there was a mess of crumbs everywhere. I pulled out the vacuum quickly to clean up the mess. There was a spit of sparks, and it went dead. Oh, look at that naughty cat there. That's why I don't have a cat. They can jump up on things and knock stuff over. Oh no, said Sarah. Look at that mess, and the visitors will be here any minute. Get mine, said Get mine, said Julian. Oh, of course, Sarah shouted. How lucky. You see, always pays to have more than one vacuum. You've got a spare then. Julian cleaned up the crumbs just in time. A big car drew up outside, and the special visitors were walking up to the door just as we were putting Julian's vacuum in its cupboard. It's nearly finished, folks, don't worry. I'll be doing some proper vacuuming in a minute. When the visitors had gone, we all sat down for a rest and a cup of tea. Then we had a good laugh about what had happened with the spilt biscuits. Oh, what a life they must lead. Wasn't it lucky that Julian had his own cleaner, Sarah said. I don't know what we would have done without it. And now, when anyone's vacuum cleaner breaks down in Greendale, they can borrow Sarah's while they get it mended. And Julian does our vacuuming when he comes home from school. Oh. Last page. And that's how you come to have 2 vacuums, said Katie. That's right, said Pat. Can we play out now? Said Tom. Off you go, said Pat. So they did. And there we go. So I hope that sent your younger viewers off to sleep. I'm sure it sent most of you off to sleep, but it's my live stream. I'll do what I like. Anyway, I really enjoyed that. I'll probably get copyright strike for reading that out, but hey. Right, I think how many have I lost? How many viewers have I lost? Oh, loads, I expect. Oh, nobody's saying anything. Were you that? Nobody's speaking. Were you that enthralled by the story? I think you were, weren't you? What should I do? Shall I open? Right. If you want me to open this vacuum that came today, put 1 in the comments. If you want me to fiddle about with another vacuum behind me, put 2 in the comments. And I'll just wait a minute. So 1 to unbox a vacuum live, and 2 to fiddle about with some vacuums and switch them on and chuck some dirt down. I'll be doing that anyway, but what do you want to see first? I can't see you. What's happened? Your chat, the chat's going up here and it's stopped. Oh, I've got it on top chat. That's why. Hang on a minute. Live chat. Right, okay. You've all disappeared. It's all gone. You've all gone. Right, oh heck. Oh, come on. Sorry, don't touch the mic, Roger. I've got some ones. Oh, String Bean, it says 111. He's voted 3 times. Justin says 1. Elfin says 1. Lisa says 1. 1, 2, 2, 2. Oh no, you can't. No, that's not allowed. Hamza, no. Right, because you've done that. I'm going to go with number 1. I'm going to do a number 1, and we'll do a number 2 later, and I'll be showing you a few. And my foot's gone to sleep. So, oh, hang on. It really has gone to sleep. Oh, I have to do a bit of a. Ooh, I've got my Henry socks on, Luke. Ooh, there we are. Ooh, crikey! I've got the windows shut because I don't want my neighbours hearing everything I'm doing in here. Right now, I've tried to be organised. I'm going to have to move you. This came today. Hang on, I'm going to have to just do a bit of a. The Hoover manoeuvre. Ooh. Right, there we go. Oh, look, fat so and so. It's padding. I'm really thin. I've just put a cushion under there so you think I'm fat. Right, hang on. Oh, gonna have to sort of unplug, so there might be a bit of a noise. Right, you're on battery power now. Let's have a look. I'm just waiting to see what it looks like on my television. See if we've got a good angle. No, we haven't, have we? Yeah, or have we? Oh, yes. Right, that'll do. Oh, right. It's not very exciting, folks. And I won't be able to turn it on because it's had most of the mains lead cut off. Never mind. At least they've actually dismantled it a bit for me. I was worried that it would be delivered fully assembled in a bin liner, which has happened. Now, right, the bag is still attached. They've not gone that far. Now, anyone guess? Are you guessing what it is? Oh dear, your chat's not moving on my laptop. You're nearly right, Elfin. I can just about see your chat. Oh, there it is. What on earth's that? Oh, yes. So I knew that. Right, yes. Oh, I'm still so excited about that story I read out. I mean, that was all new to me, folks. I should have pre-read it really, and then I'd have known the correct voices to do. What on earth is that? Well, at least they haven't sent me all their recycling, have they? In this, so well, it's not bad, Nick. It's not bad, Nick. It's an older model because it's got this metal. It's all metal. Metal hook. Oh, I don't know what. No, there is some cable. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah. There is some cable. This is the original ribbed grey cable, but it's if I shorten it and put, it's not going to. It'll only clean one small room with that amount of cable on. I think. Don't say they've. Do you know what I think they've done? I think they've tried to use it. Possibly. I don't know. Yeah. All right, that's it, folks. There we go. Let me just throw the. Oh, whoops. Oop. I don't know if I should move my doodah. How's the sound? Is it too much for you? I'm moving my mic a bit down. I think I'm so used to projecting to the microphone that's normally on top of my camera when I'm doing my normal videos. I forget that I'm just here. I don't know why Hoover did this battleship grey colour. I've got an older junior in this battleship grey. Perhaps there were rationing colours. I don't know. It's a senior or convertible. So, but it's an older one. It's the oldest of this style I've shown you so far, I believe. I've shown you older Hoovers uprights, but not in this shape. And it's older because it's got a different sort of switch on the side there. And even the Hoover roundel is grey. But the lens isn't yellowed, so that's good. And there's scuffs, but I think it's going to clean up quite well. I'll do a separate video after I've had a look at the machine. I say I can't switch it on in this live, but it's not bad. Oh, very, very worn brushes. I've never seen brushes as worn as that. I do have more brushes in stock somewhere. No belt. It's 625A, I think. Yes, 65A. And it's, oh, can't read that. 600/420 watts. So it's 600 watts when the hose is slotted in the back. Boost it to 600. But yeah. I think it'll be okay. It's not bad. I've had far worse. And you'll see another older Hoover upright I got, well, there's a few that were really bad. But, you know, it's metal bodied. This cleaner, once it's had a bit of a service, will continue to beat and sweep and clean for many years. That's not bad though, is it? Condition wise. And we've got just two height settings, normal and thick. I think you're supposed to press down or something. I did get an instruction book actually last week, or was it earlier this week? No, last week, for an older senior with the side switch. The bag isn't bad either. Bit of, yeah, I don't know what that is. Somebody could have spilt their tea on it. That's what I'm hoping. I can gently wash that. The good thing about this, that Hoover shouldn't wash off. It's not going to come off when I wash it. It's got a metal bag top here, which isn't in bad nick either. And we do have a genuine bag. It's bottom fill. You have a woman's bottom. There we go. Bottom fill. Oh, look. Right, I think that's that's it for now. I'm sorry I can't turn it on, but you will see this cleaned and polished up. It's all there anyway. It's all there. Is it? Yes. Oh, is it? Oh, yes. They put the bolt and the doodah nut and bolt through that, so that goes in. So yeah, there we go. Another old girl saved from the scrap heap. I'll put that to one side. Right then, let's have a look at some other vacuums, shall we, folks? Right, okay. What would you like to see in action first? We've got the Shark Stratos cordless. We've got the Hoover Conquest. If you remember, I was quite ill when I unboxed that one, and since I unboxed it, it's had a bit more of a clean and a polish, and that looks brand new now. Then we've got the Dyson Ball Animal Multifloor, and then we've got the Shark, and then we've got a Miele. That's featured on my channel a long time ago. I'm not opening. I've got a tale about the Bissell Spot Clean Pro. That's not going to be opened yet. We've got the Electrolux 614 that I showed you recently. That sounded awful. We've got a Sebo Automatic X7. We've got Henry Quick, who's just been charging. I'm not sure if the Dyson down there, the Dyson i, is fully charged. I've only just got that out about an hour before I went live, so it's not, you know, it's still charging, I think. Or we've got a Hoover Celebrity, which You haven't seen this particular one. You have seen well, you've seen a few celebrities. You have seen one like this. You saw the new in the box one. I was lucky enough to get. This isn't new in the box. It's a second-hand one, but it's pretty cleaned up pretty well, but it didn't come with any tools. I managed to find a hose for it on eBay, and I already had an extension wand and a nozzle, but the nozzle isn't for this. It's a better nozzle. But I think have I got it? I think that's it. I just grabbed what I could, folks, you know. So let's move you over there a bit and let's see what you've said. Hang on. Right. Did it? Oh, right. The vacuum I've just well, that is the vacuum I've just shown you is a convertible. It was called convertible in the USA, but they were called senior or deluxe in this country. We did have a machine called convertible, but you'd know our convertible as a dial-o-matic. It's very confusing. So that was called Hoover Senior in Britain, to differentiate it from Hoover Junior, which was a smaller, more compact cleaner, and the Senior was the big brother. Darren, live the Hoover cylinder. I'll be living them all, or are you saying you love it? Nice SIBO. I don't really know. Oh, I'm getting so many different things. No, there's no sort of winner. It's no sort of winner yet. You're all saying different things, so I just don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, folks. Oh dear, what shall I do? Well, first I've got to clean up first, and I've got to clear the decks a bit. So let me just sort of, I don't know what to do. Just move this packaging out the way. Don't look at the belly. Don't look at the belly. Oh. My poor dogs are just oblivious to what their daddy's up to. Right then, let's have a look. Oh, I'm getting out of breath. Out of breath moving vacuums around the house. Let's have a look at, oh, I don't know. We'll have a look at the Hoover Conquest. The Hoover Conquest. And the advert goes, a dirty great elephant made of blue serge tackles a great new cleaner made by Hoover, the Conquest. The Conquest reaches 11 feet up with double stretch hose, magics away fluff and stubborn hair with its brilliant new turbo brush. Carpet, stairs, upholstery, the Hoover Conquest tackles anything, even the blue serge elephant. I think it was something like that. But this one doesn't. This Conquest doesn't have the turbo doodah. This is a later version, and for some reason Hoover dropped it, the turbo nozzle. They didn't include it. So this was complete. If you see the unboxing when I was at Death's Door, it was delivered in a big Louis Vuitton box, and I was really ill, but I struggled to do it. Yeah, it for some reason, if you've watched the video, the flip over floor tool didn't flip over. So I just took it apart, gave it a bit of a clean, and it now flips. It's not a very good nozzle. I don't think it likes the carpet. Not many do. I've got the other tools, obviously, with this and the tool bag and the instructions, but I just didn't bring them down. So, yes, the only thing that's a bit dodgy with this, look, I'm going to lift it up from the handle. Oof. I carried it down 2 flights of stairs from this handle, and I kept saying, please don't break, please don't break, please don't break. Because that wouldn't have been very good at all. So I think, yes, the only thing that's a little bit dodgy with this is the cable rewind. It's not very vigorous when you press the button. Right. Stay. Let's hope the suppressor doesn't blow on this because, well, this has been stored in my wardrobe. Things like this do not go to storage units. They don't go in lofts. They don't go in garages. This they're cosseted. If, you know, something like this, very rare vacuum. I don't throw it on the pile like I would a Shark or a Dyson. I covet and. But you know, they say don't covet your neighbour's ass, don't they? Is that the term from the Bible? So that, you know, you shouldn't really covet vacuums either. Right, it's not turned on. Oh yes, I don't think the what's it works. The bag check indicator. It's so of its time. I think was this from. It's either from 73 or 74. And that's the name of a song by American band the Connells or the Connells. 73, 74. Oh no, is it 74, 75? Oh yeah, got that wrong. Right. I think they were from Raleigh, North Carolina. There we go. There we go. Let's switch on. Don't blow up on me. See, I can't push it. I can't push it. Ooh. It's awful. I'm going to have to replace this carpet because I can't. I mean, I am replacing the other carpets in the house. So I think we're going to go for. It was a big mistake. This makes nice carpet lines, but oh, it's a nightmare. I'm going to try this nozzle. This came well. This I bought separately. I found it was. I think somebody in Italy on eBay was selling this with two wands, two of these wands, and a hose for celebrity and some other bits. They didn't have the cleaner itself. Oh, and the instruction book. So this is for more deluxe celebrity. It might work nicely with this. Oh, there we go. Oh, you think that looks nice with this? It's not really the nozzle for it, but don't tell anyone. Right, let's try that. Come on. Oh yes, that's better. Let's move you. Oh, it's got that smell. I wish you could smell it, folks. I wish you could smell it. Wish you could smell my conquest, but you can't. You just have to imagine it. I'll put a bit of dirt down. I've got this. This is from my Samsung Clean Station that is currently for sale on eBay. So, yes, I think everything that the Samsung picked up ended up in this bag. Ooh. Now, I have got a paper bag inside the cloth bag. Got some purple sand in there, lentils, rolled oats, hair, bits of paper, all the classic muck. Glitter. There's some glitter. That'll do. Don't want to go overboard. I'll move the camera. Don't worry, folks. Let's move. Just give it a rub. Oh, I was absolutely thrilled to get this. I've wanted a conquest for a long time. Right, but I didn't throw a hissy fit like that naughty Julian because I knew they turn up. If you collect anything, you will find you might have to wait years, but eventually they turn up. So if you lose an auction on eBay, don't worry about it because if you really want it, one day you'll get it. But there's people like Klaus Schwab who don't want us to have things like this. We're going to own nothing and be happy. Well, if Klaus comes to my house and tries to take this off me, be the last thing he does. Right, let's move you up a bit. You see, this is what you don't see in my normal videos because obviously when I'm making a video of a vacuum, I'm moving stuff all about. I'm moving lights, I'm moving the camera, I'm repositioning, but you don't see any of that because it's all edited out, you see, in post-production. That's not quite There, there we are. We want to keep the vacuum in shot, don't we? On this particular nozzle, with the dial in the middle, it cleans the full width. But you can see these holes here, one there and one there. You can turn the dial for edge cleaning, and then it directs all the suction to the hole, and you can actually take it out. I think this needs a new seal. I've forgotten how it does come off. It does come off. Come on, there we go. The seal's perished, but I've got something that I can put in its place. It shouldn't really affect it much. Oh dear. There we go. Don't think it's going to do very well somehow, but anyway. Oh, well, it's had a fair stab at it for a vacuum from, I think it's 74. Is this from 1974? I'll have a look while I'm here, because I've forgotten. Oh, I don't think I'll be able to see with my lenses in. It's model 507. Oh, it's 3. Yeah, 507. This is from 1973, folks. Do the math. 1973. It is younger than myself, believe it or not. And then we've got all the dirt inside a paper bag, a genuine paper bag, and inside that, oof, I've got a Hoover air purifier, but it's in the garage. I nearly got that out to have on in the background to help suck out some of the dust that will be flying in this video. Anyway, there's the cloth bag. So if you're commenting, folks, I can't see what you're doing at the moment. Hopefully my moderators are keeping everything, you know, what's the word? Civilized, yes. No swears. We don't want any swears, do we? It's unfortunate because some people do swear in my comments, not at me, but they just use a swear word when they're making a valid point about a vacuum. But because there's a swear in it, I have to delete the comment. So if they want the comments to stay up, don't swear. I mean, I swear like a trooper. I'm not a prude, but I don't do it on this channel. Shall we have a blow? Do you want a blow? We'll have a blow. We'll have a quick blow, shall we? In fact, before I blow, well, I'll direct the hose into that end. So, and we can move this little flap and pop in the blower. It's best to attach the crevice nozzle to the end when you're blowing, because it makes it really... What are you looking at, Molly? It can't be your master coming back. Sting won't have finished his session, will he? There we go. The Hoover Conquest. Oh. So of its time. They don't make vacuum cleaners that look like this anymore. Obviously they don't, because people wouldn't buy them. But at least they made, you could get a different looking vacuum. Everything's starting to look the same. I think it's like cars. The more companies I see copying Shark now. Hoover in the UK have done a more or less direct copy of a shark, and Hoover in the USA have now done a direct copy of a shark. I've seen a Bissell in the USA that looks very like a shark. I don't want all vacuum cleaners to look like sharks. But you see, they sell, people buy them. So the other manufacturers want a bit of that, and so they copy them. Anyway, so that's the Hoover Conquest from 73, I think I said. Oh, yeah, it's just the cord rewind is a little bit slow, but I don't really want to risk opening it up. It does go in eventually. That's it. I need to put a more age-appropriate plug on that. I've got a brand new Ashley one that would be just right for this lovely Hoover. And of course, we've got the old not storage doobry, so we can hang it up on the wall. If you were stupid enough to do that, I certainly wouldn't. I wouldn't want to hang that on a wall in case the screw gave way and the vacuum tumbles to the floor and smashes its back end in. And we wouldn't want that. So as much as I like having old cleaners like this, they have to be treated, you know, with kid gloves. I think it's like people who have classic cars, they don't use them to go to Asda, you know, they use them for special occasions and, you know, treat them very well. It's the same with me in classic vacuums. Right, let's pop you over here. Lovely cleaner. Right, I'm going to, I've got an idea of what I'll do next. Let me just take a swig of drink. You can probably hear all my bodily functions through this microphone. Let's see if I can see your comments now, because they're not moving at all. They're not. Right. Move you up there, out the way. Hang on. There we go. There we go. I am red, aren't I? This is catch up on some. I can't read everything out, I'm afraid. I've never had so many viewers. How many have I got? 71. That's more than I get on my other channel. So I can normally answer most people on my other channel. Yes, the silver one is Amelia, Sean. Start with the oldest. Well, I wouldn't know which the oldest. Perhaps I have started with the oldest. I'm the oldest. Am I old? Yes, I'm older than any of these vacuums. Oh, how awful. Oh dear, what a thought. I have started with the oldest by coincidence. Why was there surplus after they went bust? I don't know what that's referring to, Darren. The nozzle, no, the nozzle is not same generation. It is a 70s nozzle, if you're talking about that nozzle. It's a bit later, maybe 77, 78. But this is a nozzle that came with the Celebrity Custom, which I have two of. I think I've got two regular customs and an American Powerhead Celebrity. You see, I haven't got. It's a shame for 4th of July. I should have shown you an American cleaner, but I think most of them are in storage, or some of them at my mum's house. So I couldn't. Although I do have one American cleaner under my bed, which is the portable. But I've left that. I've borrowed the wand from the portable for my Celebrity. Am I listing any Dysons on eBay? Not at the moment. I probably will. Oh, is somebody mentioning my wonky door? The bottom of the door. Yes, they made a right mess of that. And they had to trim it up for the carpet. Teresa says, oh, that's what we have in our house. I'm not sure. You're chatting amongst yourselves. I don't know what you. saying? Oh, what are you doing, Molly? Molly's after cats. We've got cats that keep coming into the garden, and Molly's trying to get them. Right. Nobody's. Well, come on. If you remember what's behind me, what do you want to see in action now? First person to comment, I'll do it. Oh, I don't know if that's. I'm not sure if that's very funny. Had they invented vacuum cleaners when you were a child, Roger? I'm not that old. I'll outlive a lot of you folks. Trust me, I will. What? Yes, they had invented vacuum cleaners. What the? Oh my God. What are you doing? Heck. I haven't even turned the thing on. Oh. That Dyson doesn't like this carpet either. It's got muck in it. What are you doing? Shut up. We'll look at you later. I've had this ages. This. And it's got dirt in it. It doesn't like this carpet. And I've also got the purest one, is it? The blue one? I don't think I'll be buying the latest one because it's not available yet in this country. I've seen a video of an Australian gentleman who bought one, and he took it back. And I don't know what it's going to cost in this country, but it'd be a silly price, and it looks pretty old-fashioned. It doesn't even have a self-emptying. It'll cost a bomb. So I've no plans on getting one of those, I'm afraid. Right, oh, I've got to check. The first person that said I have to go back. Right, I think the first person to comment was Ant Manning 22, and he's saying 614. Well, before I turn on the 614, I think I need to put a new belt in it. Now the motor does sound better. I haven't done this properly. It does need retro brighting, but since I got this, we've had loads of sun when I was on holiday, and then since I've come back, we've hardly had a full day of sun, and I need a full day of bright sun to try and do some retro brighting. But I took the motor out of this on the day, I think it was on the day I filmed it, actually. Yeah, this is fairly new. It's not a video I've put up and I've had it for ages. I've only had this a few weeks. And I just was bored and I just took the motor out and took it apart. You can't do much with them. You can't really strip much apart from putting them in two halves. So I managed to get some spray. It's not oil, but spray grease. I think it's WD-40, but it's a spray grease. So I cleaned as much as I could round the bearings and saturated it with spray grease, the bottom and top bearings, and put it all back together. Switched on, hope for the best, and it does sound better. But it might sound even better when I put another belt in. And I've got some spares, so we'll do a doodah. I've got my tools. I've got my Stanley box. I've actually got some genuine bags, some non-genuine filters and non-genuine belts. People have been saying, oh, these are really poorly made. Well, I don't find it to be. I mean, this is the sort of a later generation. I believe the early models did have some problems, but I think they've been fixed with this, because this does, to me, it seems fairly solid, certainly compared to some machines. I was using a machine that I thought, well, that's really bad. I can't remember what it was. It was that cheap feeling. I've used so many vacuums, I don't know. But I seem to remember thinking, oh, well, this Electrolux is a lot more sturdy than that. Right, let's see if I can do this. A live belt change. If it doesn't go well, I might swear. Is it after 9 o'clock? Let me see. Yes, so it's okay. I can say, I won't. I'll try not to swear, folks, because, you know, there may be some children staying up beyond their bedtime. You never know. think I opened this, didn't I, when I first unboxed this. It does need. I don't know where to get a new doodah. I might have one, but that's another job to sort out all my spares. I'll make a video of that. It's boxes and boxes and boxes of spare parts. Some I've just bought, you know, willy-nilly, in the off chance I might need them. And I buy the odd sort of job lot on eBay. I bought a job lot on eBay recently. I can't remember the eBay seller's name, but I bought a lot from him. And it was a job lot of various Hoover parts. I couldn't see everything in there. There was some Hoover floor polisher pads, other bits and pieces. But the thing, unfortunately, there's only one. But there was one screw in a bag, and it was a screw for Hoover Portable. You know, the hinge screw. And I didn't try it, but it looked exactly like the screw for Hoover Portable. Shame there wasn't two, but never mind. I did manage to get some screws to fit that. Yeah, so I've got a very flaccid belt. I need to take the brush roll apart if I can get the ends off and clean and lube that up. So let's just get the belt off. Oh, that is, look at that. They're not genuine, but they are for Electrolux 600 series. I need another drink. There we are, that's better. I don't think I'm going to get drunk in this video because I'm drinking it too slowly. They're very thin though. This looks a bit thinner. Oof. Invicta parts. There's two in there. That's thin, isn't it? Oh yeah, well, it's a tiny. Well, no, it's about the same. That's the new one. Yes, we can see that's the old one. Get rid of that, and we'll try and get this over the spindle. I don't know what you'd do if you had sausage fingers. So I bet Prince Charles never put belts on his vacuums. You know, I bet Camilla would have done it. Oh, hang on. I'm gonna have to do this. Yes, I bet Charlie, before he was king, he would have been doing the vacuuming in Highgrove House, and the belt would have snapped, and he'd have called Camilla. Even when he was married to Diana, I expect he was seeing. Well, he was seeing Camilla. We all know. We've seen The Crown, and Camilla would have come. She'd have come in with her dungarees on and a toolbox, and she'd say, "Get out of the way, Charles. I'll do it." And she'd fit a new belt to his vacuum. Well, he would have had a problem. Well, they did. This cleaner is by appointment to Her Madge, but it was suction cleaners, I think. So if they had an upright, it would have had to be a Hoover. I thought, I can't get it in, folks. It's very hard to get the, especially when you're doing it live. Hang on, I'll just poke it through. Should groom a bit better with a new belt anyway. Is that on? I don't want it twisted. Oh, that's it. Wow, that is tricky. Right. Right, I just need to make sure that that's in. Oh yes, well, some of you might know if you're in the UK, it seems that the Ideal World Home Shopping channel has possibly folded because they've taken their website down and they're not broadcasting anymore. I bought quite a few vacuums off them. They're sort of market trader types, you know. They're not QVC is a bit up itself, isn't it? But Ideal World was a bit more common. Certainly, there were people who worked from Ideal World that would have probably been better on a market stall. In fact, there's one gentleman called Mike, who's just like the men I used to watch when I was a child, flogging dinner sets, you know, seconds on the market on a Saturday morning, and he used to juggle the plates, toss them up in the air, and all the women would be gathered round while he did his juggling. It was just a bit like Del Boy, you know, Only Fools and Horses, that sort of market trader. Well, this bloke on Ideal World is a bit like that. He'd never get a job on QVC. Let's face it. Anyway, I've had quite a few vacuums off them. I got my Bissell Hydro Clean. I got the Wertheim thingy, whatever it was. I think the Rug Doctor, the bigger Rug Doctor carpet cleaner, I got from them. They do some good prices. And I've just ordered, only last week, a new Bissell Spot Clean Pet Pro, because it was a good price. It was 130 quid. And I shopped around and it was the cheapest anywhere. And a few days later, the channel's gone, and I was thinking, oh no, have I lost out there? But fortunately, it was delivered today. It was dispatched before the channel went down. So, but I have got a few things recorded. Quite a lot of older shopping channel videos recorded, QVC and Ideal World. I've got a few on my channel, but not many. I've got a lot more recorded. So I've got a few years worth. And when I knew that Ideal World was in trouble, I recorded a few more recently because I thought they might not be around for much longer. And it looks like they might not be. Right, so that's a new belt. Still sounds a bit, I think that, yeah, the brush roll certainly needs attention. If you remember, we didn't take this out, did we, in the unboxing, because I couldn't get it out. So I'll need a screwdriver, a little one. Flathead is that one. Leave that out. I'll just reposition the camera and then you can see a bit better. There we are. There you go. There we are. Right, that comes off. And then we've got these pattern spares, Euro part. So let's hope that it's the black one that goes there. I'm hoping the black one hasn't perished. I'll want one of these pre-motor filters. Oh, there's two. So there's two of each. Oh, good. That's not the sort of stuff that's dust. Actually, in that little job lot I got off eBay recently, there was an Electrolux pack of filters, a white filter and a black filter, but the black filter was just dust. Dust! High fat, low fat. But I expected that anyway, so I wasn't bothered. They always perish. Am I doing it the right way? We'll put a genuine bag. I don't think the bag fitted very well that was in it. You see, if I'm filming this, I'll be editing all this rubbish out, and it makes you think that I know what I'm doing, and it all goes smoothly. But of course, it doesn't. and especially when you've, am I doing it the right way? Which way is it? Is it? No, it must be. Hang on. No, it is that. Oh, it is that way. It is that way. That's it. That's it. Yeah. I don't tend to make too many bloopers nowadays. Fortunately. Although they are quite funny for some people. There we go. That's it. There we go. That's that done. You can see the colour difference. I'll raise you up. You'll raise me up. Oh, I can stand on mountains. That obviously wasn't fitted very well, was it? Oh no, I've used it briefly. The bag wasn't fitted properly and it's gone all dirty, look. Ah, hang on. Quick, I need something to clean it with. What have I got that's handy? Oh, I'll just use a shark. Just because it's easier just to grab this. Right, come on. Where's the old crevice? There we are. Oh, I'm looking for the on switch on the machine. It's on the handle. I want max suction, so we want the low pile setting. Oh, hang on a minute. What? That's not right, is it, folks? It says it's for 614. Well, unless no, what? Well, that doesn't even fit that. So what the heck's that for? Oh well, I'll cut that to size. I'll just put this one back. Hang on, let's get rid of that muck. Oh, that's odd. Right, we'll get rid of this because this is not genuine. This is genuine. It's got a notch in it, you see. Oh, it's completely different. Completely different. That's completely wrong. I did have some scissors. I was organised. Oh, there they are. I was organised for the doodah. Quickly, we'll just quickly shove this bag in and might throw a bit of dirt down as well, shall we? While we're here, we might as well throw some dirt. I'm not sure if these are reusable. No, they're not. So they're genuine, but it's like Hoover did this. The bags that used to be reusable, they don't do that anymore. So I'll just put the clip on the top where it would have been. So this should fit. Yes, you see there's a notch and a little doobry there. So this should fit properly now. Yes, and it's clipped into place. So that's a bit more skilled. Right, let's switch on. Hope it's still working. It does have a suppressor. I think it's near the motor. It looked like it was a bit brown. I think we'll try it on that setting. Yeah, that one. That one. Right, hang on. Punch that out of the way. Right. Pull up my sock. Pull your socks up. I was always being told that as a child. Pull your socks up, Roger. Stop talking about vacuum cleaners, Roger. Oh dear, I was that obsessed. I was visiting my grandma in hospital, who was more or less on her deathbed, and all I could say was, "Have you seen this vacuum, Grandma?" Bless her. It's not my fault. I mean, I didn't want to be obsessed with vacuum cleaners. I can't help it. Nobody can help it. If you choose to be obsessed with vacuums, then I think that's wrong. I think you're either born. You're born like that. Oh, or it happens when you're very, very young. Right. Oh, hang on. Right. So new belt, new filters. Well, one new filter and a new genuine dust bag. This would perform much better, I think, with a new brush roll. But as I said, I don't know what I've got in my stocks, so it's possible that I've got one. There we are. That'll do. That'll do. There we are. Right. I'll move the camera in a minute so we can see it. See it in action. If you haven't seen the unboxing video of this, go and watch it because you'll hear what it sounded like when I first unboxed this, and you'll compare it to what it sounds like now with not very much work. As I say, I'm going to do it properly, have it all out again, and sort the motor even better than I did it. It was just to see if it would work. Anyway, let's give it a go. you know, still a bit grumbly at the end, but that, it sounds a lot better. So I didn't have to fit another motor. I do have one. I think it would have fitted. It's an Electrox 500 motor, but it's a later one, and it's got the same sort of spindle with a little sort of stopper thing at the end to stop the belt slipping. But I didn't really want to use a new motor if I could get, and it's certainly, you know, it is better than it was. It's never going to be perfect. So right, well, while I'm tidying up, if you'd like to comment, first person to comment, which vacuum would you like to see next that we haven't seen? There's a Sharp Stratos, there's a Dyson Ball. Well, we've seen the Stratos upright in action, haven't we? We haven't seen the cordless. We've got the Miele, we've got the Sebo, we've got Henry Quick, we've got the Dyson robot, and we've got the Hoover Celebrity. So I just have to tidy up. So I have to tidy up as I go along doing a live. You should see the mess that I make when I'm filming the videos. Normally, you can't see what I'm doing. How rude of me. So rude. Right. Just have a swig of drinky. Might have to take this top off. I have got a vacuum cleaner themed t-shirt underneath. Right. We'll have to wait until a bit later for that. So stay tuned, folks. I'll be stripping off. And then you'll see you've seen my vacuum socks, you'll see a vacuum t-shirt, and of course I've got vacuum underpants on. It says turbo power just on the bottom. Doesn't really, I'm joking. That's an idea though, isn't it? Oh dear. Let's just see what you've been saying. Look, there's a delay. I don't know what it's going to look like. I keep looking at that, but it doesn't really help because there's a delay, you see. Ooh, 76 people still watching. Amazing. Right, let's have a quick shufty. Yeah, Darren says too many shark clones. That's the thing. That just, to me, when I see all these shark clones, I'm just thinking, why? Just design something of your own. Why everything has to look the same? You know, just because it's popular. I think we've got Henry Quick. There's quite a lot for Henry Quick. The Dyson robot's not bad actually. It doesn't like this carpet, doesn't like this pile. I took it to my mum's. I've had it ages. I did some filming of it, and it liked my mum's slightly less deep pile, and it always found its way back. And I like the fact that it's very compact. It's a bit taller than some, but it does get into some spaces. But it was a bit, yeah, it was a little bit. It got stuck on certain things. There's a rug in my mum's bedroom. It kept getting stuck on, but it, it did a good job. Certainly. Now, what am I doing? Oh, Henry Quick. Right. Oh, dearie me. Gosh, I'm still red in the face. It's quite warm. Right, I've had Henry Quick plugged in, or I've unplugged him. I think he's charged up. I haven't used him. Well, yes, it is a he. I haven't used him for a while, and I sort of saw him there in the cupboard with all my clothes, looking a bit forlorn. I thought, oh, I'll just grab him because I've just trimmed my hair, on my head in my ensuite, and I just needed something that was handy just to vac up the hairs. And Henry Quick happened to be the nearest one to grab without having to plug him in or whatever. So I grabbed him, and although he's not been used a while and there is dirt in the bag, he still smells quite nice because he's got the air freshener. I think I've one for, I can't remember what the smell is on this one. I can't even remember the smells. I did buy one of every smell. I think this is like a tropical pineapple-y smell. So it's still got the whiff to it. I don't know how full the bag is. Let's have a look. Forgotten how. So long since I've handled Henry Quick, I forget. Oh, he's oh, that's got a bit of dirt in it. Oh, heck. Oh well. Still, that was all clean though. Look, I do like this vacuum. I like the cleanness of the back. You know, I mean, it's always clean. There's no filthy filters. Like that Shark. I do like that Shark Stratos, the cordless. And I like the mains powered Shark, but it's just a mess of them. The washing of the filters. Somebody commented today, I think, on under a video, who buys bagged vacuums anymore? I said, well, anyone who doesn't want to keep washing filters all the time and wants a cleaner, more hygienic method of disposing of dirt. I know I've got a bit of dust on my fingers now, but that wouldn't normally happen, would it? Under normal circumstances, you'd go out to your bin with Henry Quick and you'd go like that. And, you know, the bag drops down and then you have to, well, then you just put a new bag in, don't you? So it could make some improvements. I mean, this is the first cordless, well, not the first cordless, but the first stick type cordless from Pneumatic. So I think they're going to make improvements. Hopefully the production will move to the UK with Mark II Henry Quick. Maybe they'll do a Henry Quick PET with a mini, because it is lacking a mini turbo nozzle. Motorized head, could do with that. Could do with a little hose accessory, because in the car, that's not really going to get under the seats very easily at all. So it's quite big. And the nozzle, it's very Vax-like. I mean, I'm selling a Vax blade. Well, I will be as soon as I find the instructions. I cleaned this up. And it is similar, not quite the same, but the brush rolls aren't compatible. It is similar. And obviously it's no, you know, the brush roll comes out for cleaning, but it will get caught with pet hairs, this. But because I think it works well because it's concentrated, you know, the brush roll, relatively stiff brushes, and it sort of concentrates the suction because it's quite a small opening, but it's never clogged for me, but that could clog. I just think it could be a little bit wider. It's just, it doesn't seem in proportion, the head. And I believe you can get this in the USA now. I don't know how much you're paying for it. At the moment, at the time of filming this, Hetty Quick's on offer, I think at $250. Sometimes Henry Quick's on offer at $250 as well. They don't now, if you buy one, you don't get all those pods. You only get 6. I think you get one fitted and a spare tube. It was only when these were new that you got, you know, the 2 tubes worth. And was it 26? I think you got 26, something like that. Yeah, I think you got 2 tubes and then 6 spares. So there we go. I'd like SIBO to do a cordless. I know there is a SIBO cordless, and you won't be seeing that on my channel. No plans on buying that cordless upright, unless they may be doing a domestic version of that black SIBO bagged soft bag upright. But it's too much money. It's the cheapest you can get is around 800. I've seen some videos of it, and it's put me off. I've heard that there was one video that was made but wasn't uploaded because it made it look even worse. So that was red flag. So I'm not going to waste my money. But we'll see if there's that's still not in shot properly, is it? Or is it? Oh yes. I'm looking at the right. Okay, I think we're about central for the dough. I'll try Henry on its regular setting, on his regular setting. We go to boost now. So I've found I don't need to use Boost at all, really. So if I was to leave Henry Quick out of it, I would probably use him more than I do now. But because I like to mix and match and use different machines, especially if I've just unboxed one, I tend to try and use that a few weeks just to get the feel of it. So it's not the best. It's got its faults. It needs a bit of tweaking. It's still a good machine, but the main selling point is the bag. If this was bagless, then it would be pretty, you know. It's a Best Buy in which on the Consumers Association, which gave Henry Quick a Best Buy, and I assume Hetty is also a Best Buy because they're just the same. Apart from Hetty has eyelashes and she's pink, but yeah, it's just for quick daily cleans, and certainly the Henry Quick is easier to use than a standard Henry, definitely. But have both. If you like Henry, get both. Have a standard mains powered Henry for your car, for your deeper cleans, for your spring clean, for your above floor, but just use Henry Quick for your floors and carpets to whiz around the house every day. That's what it's best at, in my opinion. I think that's why they called it Henry Quick. So say goodnight, Henri. Good night, everybody. I'm going back to sleep. So there we go. There's Henry Quick. And of course, Henry does. But what I would like to see, right? And this is Miele do it with their Triflex, and Shark have their sort of small upright cleaner with the weight lower down. And I think I've done a Morphy Richards a long time ago that was a similar thing where you could move the heavy part. So why not have a Henry Quick, right? So do this. I mean, you can connect the head directly, okay? So then, why not have it a design so you can have, this becomes a handle here, and then you've got a hand grip, and then look, you can have all the weight down there. Right, now I've given you an idea. So if they produce it, it's my idea and I want my royalties. See, that would make perfect sense. Just like the Miele Triflex does. It would need a bit of, it wouldn't need much. They'd have to alter something here, the handle, so, the wand would clip in and then obviously provide a sort of hand grip to put on the top. But then it would be so much lighter to use with the weight lower down. I mean, that looks okay to me. What do you think? So who knows if they do that? It's quite, he's quite big. You can do your stairs like that, but So there you go. I'm predicting that they should do that. Let's pop him back how he should be for now, though. There we are. Right. Oh. Now I'm going to take a break from vacuuming, and because I read a story for you children who I'm hoping are now in bed, you little smaller vacuum fans, who are so lucky, I have to say, the children now that are growing up who like vacuums like I liked vacuums, and some of you obviously watching, when you liked vacuums when you were a toddler. I was 18 months old, my mum tells me. There was nothing, we didn't have the internet, obviously. I'm such an old man. There was no internet, didn't have mobile phones. And we had toy vacuums, and that's, obviously I looked at my neighbours' vacuums whenever we went anywhere. I'd be, going in the closet to look for a vacuum, and I didn't come out of the closet until I was well into my 20s. Too busy in the closet looking at vacuums. So I guess I have vivid memories of being, a small child. I don't know. I'm surprised I hadn't been locked up, because I think they would have done in those days. You couldn't identify as what you wanted to be back in the day. I couldn't have said, I identify as a vacuum. I want you to call me Hoover. So you couldn't do that then. But nowadays, I could, I could say to my mummy and daddy, I want to be referred to as a Hoover Sensatronic, and I only want to eat dirt. I won't eat any real food. But when I was growing up, no, you would have been put in a loony bin or a nut house. That's what they were called back in the day. But now, because there's no money for that sort of thing, I think people are just allowed to be a little bit eccentric and mix with normal folk. So obviously, I managed to get away with it. I can sort of hide the obsession until I come on camera, and then you can see what a nutcase I am. But a lot of you are, so I'm in good company. What was I saying? Oh, yes. So I'm just saying how lucky it is now that there's so many different toy vacuums, and I've must have at least 30 because I unboxed 24 of them when I did a Christmas Advent series of toy vacuums a few years back. So that's not all the ones I've got. So you can buy all different vacuum cleaners. There's books. There's all the Henry books you can get. Um, so you know nothing like that. I had one book, The Penguin and the Vacuum Cleaner, which I did read out on my channel years ago. Anyway, for the adults, I've just saved a little thing to read you out, and it is Hoover related because it's the Hoover Book of Home Management, and this is a Bible for any housewives getting married in the 60s. Obviously, they want to please their man, they want to keep a tidy home, they want to bring up the children properly, they want to make sure that all the husband's needs are catered for, and that's what happened back in the day. So there's this book which I found on eBay. It's well worth looking for. It's a it's an British book, and I showed this in my live on Roger's Bits and Doings, but I thought, well, I'll show it to you because not many people watch Bits and Doings. So we have a lovely 60s couple and a young baby. You see, look at that. They've got their whole lives ahead of them. Absolutely, this is a fantastic. It's of its time. It really is of its time. It just basically tells the housewife how to manage her housekeeping, how to clean. I think there's sewing hints and all sorts. I love the smell of this. Oh, it's the smell of old books. Just it's really nice. And this is what's lacking, I'm afraid, nowadays. How to iron books. People are so used to reading stuff on the internet, reading books on a Kindle or on their iPad or whatever. There's nothing can beat old books, the smell of old books, and it's just I don't have time to read all the books I've got. I will one day, but it's just oh, it's just beautiful. I just love old things, and I think you appreciate things more. I'm appreciating more now the older machines I've got, the 70s models. I mean, I do love the 80s. I loved living through the 80s. I grew up in the 80s. A child of the 70s, and I grew up. I became a man in 19. Well, yes, I became a man in the late 80s. Officially, I wasn't. Obviously, I was still a child in an adult body, but I was. I did mature sort of in the 80s. So obviously, I've got fond memories. Some people won't have fond memories of the 80s. It depends on the circumstances they were living in. Certainly, if you were a coal miner or in a coal miner's family, I don't think the 80s would have been very fun for you. But if you were a yuppie in the 80s or growing up in the 80s in a family that gave, I never wanted for anything. I'm very lucky. I was brought up fairly well, um, had a loving family, more or less. Not all families are perfect anyway, ups and downs, but on the whole, a loving family. I was always looked after. Um, and my mum and dad sort of nurtured my silly obsession with vacuum cleaners, which is why I'm sat here now in front of you talking to 70 people about vacuums. I mean, it's still a ridiculous thing to me why I like these. And sometimes when I'm struggling to find something and I'm falling over the things, I do curse them. So anyway, I don't know if I'll be able to read this book with my lenses in. I just want to read you just a little bit of what a housewife of the sort of 60s was supposed to do, which I'm just don't think. What's the time? Crikey, I don't know what the time is. I don't think it's 10 o'clock yet, is it? Hang on. See if I can read this. Right, this is a timetable of a housewife with 2 children, Janet and John. Her daily routine might be roughly as follows: 7 a.m., get up, dresses, goes downstairs. Molly! Sorry, she's growling at cats. I don't think I better read this. Makes a cup of tea and drinks the tea. Better than rubbing it in. Children, um, or when she's lucky, husband does it for her. Oh, right. The husband, if she's lucky, the husband gets her tea. Strips back bed and opens the window if not already open. Tidies bedroom quickly. Stokes boiler or lays fire. Serves breakfast at 8:20. Clears away, washes up, and accompanies children to school when necessary. 9:20. Smarten up dining room and living room. 10 a.m. Collects items belonging upstairs, takes them up and makes beds. Finishes tidying bedrooms and straightening drawers and cupboards. And then a special weekly duty, Monday, she does the washing. Wash day was always Monday. If she has a fully automatic washing machine, it would be spread over the week and take only a few minutes for each load. A few minutes to prepare, not to wash. Although washers then did wash a lot quicker than they do now. Tuesday, thorough cleaning of living room and dining room. Wednesday, thorough cleaning of bedroom. Thursday, thorough cleaning of kitchen. Friday, thorough cleaning of bathroom, lavatory, and hall. Baking, further washing if necessary. Saturday, extra cooking for weekend. And PM prepares lunch, serves lunch, clears away, washes up, straightens kitchen, relaxes. Changes, time for ironing, shopping, visiting, collecting children from school, gardening, needlework, taking children for a walk, prepares and serves tea to children, prepares evening meal, baths children while Amelia is cooking slowly, puts them into dressing gowns to wait up and see father, sets kitchen to rights and lays table, puts children to bed and tidies away clothes, serves evening meal. At 7:20, she clears away, and you only get 20 minutes to eat the evening meal. So these people didn't ring up or use an app on their phone to get it delivered. She made it from scratch. Clears away, washes up. Sometimes husband clears table and tidies things away while she washes up, and the job is more than halved. So that's if you have a progressive husband in the 60s, if he helped out. Possibly most husbands just sat with a pipe and their Times newspaper and let wifey do everything. Evening recreation, reading, letter writing, accounts. How exciting. There's no mention of how's your father. I mean, I don't know where they where they can make the children, where they can, you know, how did those children happen? Because it's not. I don't think it's in the. There's no sort of love making section here. You just have to fit it in between the washing and the vacuuming, I suppose. It says this is only a guide on how one housewife might plan her day. It is not intended as a hard and fast rule for all housewives to follow. Circumstances vary so much that it would be impossible to draw up a timetable to suit everyone, and many people could not work to a timetable anyway. No, can you imagine? Everything has to be put in a timetable, everything, you know. But you see, people are so spoilt. You've got Hoover fan heater there. They're so spoilt now. The amount of comments I get when I'm, on those twin tub videos I do, those plastic twin tubs, the comments that people think it's too much work for them. It's too much work to fill up a tub, put the clothes in, turn a dial, then take them out and spin them, and then rinse and all, that's too much work for them. They should have grown up when that sort of thing, a twin tub washer, like a Hoovermatic or a Hot Point Super Twin or whatever, would have been something a housewife, and it was a housewife. It was not, it would be unusual for a man to stay at home and look after the house and children. It would have been very unusual back then. It started happening in the 70s. Certain men, would swap roles with their wife. And nowadays, of course, most parents work full time, or one of them works part, and but it just makes you, when you read old books like this is like a history book. This was, this would have been like a modern day book. Now you can get to, I don't know if people read books on how to do housework. I don't think they do, because there's people on Instagram and YouTube, and they show how to spray some chemical onto a surface and use a cloth. You know, um, it just makes you appreciate as you get older. Well, it makes me appreciate. I mean, I'd like my mod cons, of course, but we, on the whole, are living in a, well, I'm going to say we're lucky to be living in the times we're living in now, but I'm starting to change my mind. But I think it'll all turn out okay in the end, folks. Ah, right, let's have a look. Lisa wishes she was 25 again, and it was her best year. I don't think I have a. I don't think I have a best year. You shouldn't really think. I mean, I do like to reminisce, but you shouldn't. You should be trying to. You should try and live in the now and make the now better, because that's all you have. You only have the now, don't you? You don't. I do. I do reminisce, and I do like to go back in time and part in my head. And I suppose it's why I like to get the old vacuums, because they remind me of, when I was young. I don't just have old vacuums. I buy a lot of things I had when I was a kid. You know, toys and gadgets, and just little things that I see on eBay. Sometimes it's enough just to see the picture, and that brings back. Sometimes you see something you'd completely forgotten about, and that's nice. And then you sort of see it again, and you think, "Oh God, yes, I know." It sort of comes back. Um, but if you're always harking back to the past, it's not very healthy. But it is nice to visit. So, but as I say, we've only got the now, folks. We've only got the now, and count your blessings as well, because there's always people far worse off than you are, folks. What are you wanting, Molly? We haven't even seen the dogs, have you? Well, I don't want to disturb Daisy. She's fast asleep. And there's a lot of crazy people in San Francisco. I'm not going to bring Roger's Box of Delights. Well, I think Roger's Box of Delights, I've got 3 channels. Roger's Box of Delights was me sort of doing Playmobil, very, it's years old, but then they demonetized it for some reason. There was some new ruling on YouTube about videos for children, although I wasn't aiming them at children, because I was like an adult collector, assembling and showing them as an adult. Like, you get adult Lego collectors, don't you? They make their Lego videos for adults to watch. So anyway, I just left it. It's still up, I think, but if I do any more sort of toys and Playmobil, I'll just do them on Roger's Bits and Doings. Just have to put the odd swear word in the video so they know it's not meant for kids. UK 2020. I was born in 1983. Well, don't rub it in. 1983, yes, it's a good year. I was at school in 1983. Obsessed with vacuums, obviously. Darren wishes he was 40 again, but not 20. We don't want to have to relive all of the BS. Vacuum Central loved the 90s. I don't remember much about them. That's a decade that sort of passed me by, the 90s. Obviously, I lived through the 90s, but I can't really think of much that, even the vacuums of the 90s didn't seem to be that special. We had the Turbo 2, and what else? I've more vivid memories of the 80s, the vacuums, the cars, the style, what houses look like, the music, the TV. But the 90s, they just sort of just passed me by. And then really from then on, I'd sort of I'm always thinking, if I could go back, and if a time machine, I would go back into the 80s. I think, as I said, the 80s wasn't good for everyone who lived through them, but they were okay for me. Um, but then you think, if you had the chance of going back, just traveling back in time, maybe just you allowed a day or something, a day a year, you were allocated one day and you could choose a day. But if you went back knowing what you know now, I think that would be absolutely, I don't know, that I would be crying all the time, because you'd be going back to a time, say you want to visit your childhood, and you go back, and then of course you're seeing, one or two parents that may have passed on since. So you're actually there. You can hug them, talk to them, and like with me, the dogs as well. I'd be in floods of tears all the time. I mean, I cried a lot as a child. I was a very worried a lot as a child and a teenager. I was always worried about something. I don't know why. Um, so I did cry a lot, but it would be very hard to keep your emotions under wraps, wouldn't it, if you were visiting? But there'd be no point in going back if you didn't know you were going back, if you know what I mean. So you would have to know what happens, and then you'd always be tempted to try and change things, wouldn't you? And then apparently that's a no-no in time travel. You try and alter it and you fiddle about with stuff, you'll find when you come back to your present time that it could be all different. That's what we always see in time travel, shows, don't we? Um, Even in The Simpsons, I think Homer was traveling through time, and all sorts of different things were happening when he got back. And all he did, I think, was tread on an insect, and then it changed the rest of the time for everyone. So, yeah, it'd be nice just to go back, maybe just to go back anonymously and just be there, but not, they wouldn't see you, you know? And you couldn't do anything. I mean, if I went back and could take stuff, I'd be around Hoover shops picking up all the leaflets I got rid of when I was a kid, I'd be getting them all, and I'd be making sure, don't bin those, Roger, keep them forever. And so then after doing that, yeah, I'd come back to present time and then I'd see, crikey, I've still got them. That's what I'd do with time travel. I'd go and get vacuums. I'd make sure I don't get rid of vacuum cleaners that I regret selling. Right, do we want to see any more vacuums, folks, before I go? What haven't we seen? We haven't seen the Miele, the SIBO. You've seen that recently, haven't you? We haven't seen. Oh, I want to do the celebrity, and we could have a close look at the Dyson robot, because I've never shown that on my channel. There's loads you haven't seen. Absolutely loads and loads of things you haven't seen. You will eventually see everything. Eventually. The Miele, someone Elfin Knight says. I'm selling that. Going to sell it. I haven't got the original box, but I can take the handle off. I don't know, actually. Yeah, the box I thought was going to fit in might not fit. I've got another one. I've got the white one, the later version. This is the first Miele upright. It's a shame they discontinued this. I hope you can all still hear me. I hope my battery's still working. It's a bit of a monstrosity, size-wise. But I just, I remember when this was launched and was quite excited about it. And it's a good machine, but it is a big, bulky vacuum. And yeah, Miele discontinued it because it just wasn't selling, you know. And I was a bit disappointed, because I was hoping, because yeah, it's a good machine. It's good with the hose. It's a very long hose. It does reach up the stairs, and it's very stable when the hose is out. But it is very heavy and a bit hard to push. Probably more suited to American homes than British homes. But I was just thought, yes, it's good, but it is a bit bulky. and I was hoping that they would bring out a lighter, compact upright. I mean, they did the art, didn't they? But that's not really a proper upright. And there was the stick type vac, the alternative, and there was a powerhead version of that. But I was just hoping for proper. But no, they didn't sell in the numbers. And I found out quite a while ago from a Miele dealer that they were discontinuing them. And I remember telling someone in a comment, and I got all sorts of abuse back saying, no, they're not going to. But you can't argue with some folk. Right, what am I going to... Shall we? I'll just pull out the hose for you, shall I? So you can just. It is, yeah. I mean, we've got, at the time we did have the Sebo X4 when this was out, so there were 2 quality bagged upright cleaners you could get, and I think at the time I did prefer the Miele. The Miele is certainly better for the tools because you've got the hose that comes out lower down, and it's a lot longer, and then you can lock it down, and then it will stretch. It will stretch. I think it goes more or less to the top of the stairs, and it stays stable. I mean, it's such a heavy machine. I mean, it would take a lot to, you know, pull that over. And then, of course, you've got your extending doobry. And then, of course, all the tools, including a very nice long crevice nozzle for the end, your nooks and crannies, and your upholstery and stair tool, and the dusting brush. That's a deluxe dusting brush. And this particular one, I think this was the top model, although the nicer one, the one that looked nice, was the red version, the sort of ruby red, which was the version down from this, which was basically the same, but it didn't have the mini turbo brush. So this did come with a mini turbo brush as well. But yes, it had problems, I believe. I've never had any problems with mine, but I look after them, so. And I did have a black version, the one with the dial instead of, this is the automatic with the, you know, the buttons. And I wish I'd kept that black one, because that was the very first vacuum I used in this house when we moved in, when it was new build house, and it was a Wednesday. We got the keys, and I took this in the car, well, not this, the black one, and vacuumed an empty house, and there were still lots of bits coming up, even though it had been vacuumed by, you know, they send a cleaner around after a house has been built and it's all finished. Then the cleaner comes down and just wipes down and vacuums. But I think they had a Henry or something, because there's loads of bits I could hear going up the tube. So I should have kept that. But anyway, so we've got the, let me see if I can adjust you. There we are. We've got the touch controls. So we've got the switch. Oh, you can't see it now, but there's a switch to turn on off and a switch to turn the brush roll on and off. It's on automatic. Then it lights up here when you've got the brush roll on, carpet comes on. And then this is a filter reset button. But in some ways I prefer the dial, a little simpler. I never use automatic. Let's give it a go. I think it's okay on this carpet. Let's just tighten that in case it falls. There we are. Right, on. think I've just talked myself out of selling that now. I'm going to keep it because, yeah, it's I'm out of breath using it though. It is such a big machine. I think the bags, it doesn't smell too bad. I must have an air freshener in the bag, but the bag is, no, it's not too bad. That was always a little bit, always felt flimsy, the bag door. But it was all right when you closed it and it latched. But yeah, so it's a shame that they just went to cylinder. And even in the UK now, they don't even do a powerhead cylinder in the UK. I know you do them in America. And they've gone bagless, haven't they? I'm not too keen on that Blizzard. The little boost machine, the squat, the newer bagless one's better, but it's still messy. I'd much rather have a bagged version of that boost. It's a quirky little clean. I did use that as vacuum of the month, and it was quite nice. But Mila, succumbed to pressure, did a bagless. I wonder if SIBO ever will. Hopefully not. So there we go. That's the top range Mila Auto Care HEPA. This is an 1800 watt. Obviously, the later versions, I think they did them when the EU regulations changed. Because I think I've got the white one. I've got is a lower wattage. I think it's 890 watts. I think. Right. So there's that. Let's have a look. Let's have a bit of a look at the Dyson. It probably needs setting up again. The app needs updating for it. I suspect. I could control it with the app. I don't know what it's. I don't know if that's going to do anything. Right, are you going to? Oh, yes. Oh, come on. Struggling. Where are you going? Let's close the blinds in case the neighbours are looking. Oh, sorry about that. Oh, hang on. I can't remember what it does. Depends on the setting, I think. There's no remote with the Dyson, I don't think. No, it doesn't come with a remote. I think you could do things via the app. But I'd have to reacquaint myself with it. I think, it's not bad. The one thing about this, you can't use it in the dark. So that's where the Hurst, whatever it's called, that had a light. I've got that. I don't think I've even plugged it in or anything. Hopefully the battery's still okay. So it's got an eye, but it is pretty effective, I have to say. Probably not as effective as say the V15 now. You can see the brush roll probably needs a bit of a clean. So I would say this was about as effective as a V8 of its when this was sort of new. So that brush roll does come out, and as you can see, it will need cleaning on a regular basis. But I like it because it's the full width. We don't have the spinning side brush because they don't need it. It does get pretty close. Does a pretty good job. I mean, look, I can't believe I've packed that away. It was in its original box. I put it away with muck in it. Try not to do that. So it's a very small container. Do we have to just, I think we have to just take the top off. Yeah. You see, look. And then you've got the cyclones. There is a filter, but that's, yeah, you can just brush that clean. I like robots for the novelty, but the time you take to maintain them, probably it's not going to save time. Is that on right? I can't remember how you do it. I don't know. I don't think, no, it just goes on. It doesn't twist. And then, filters here. I quite like it. I've got loads of robots I've never shown you. You need a tidy house, you see. That's the trouble. You need an uncluttered house to really take advantage. This is one I don't think I'll ever sell, or the other one. There's a few Dysons I would probably never sell. My new in the box DC01, my Zorbster, a few others, handful of others, but I have sold quite a lot of them already. I think, oh, there's another filter. That was a pre-motor, and then you've got post-motor filter. So I will have to. I'll probably do a video of this properly. I'll have to reacquaint myself with this little Dyson. Let's put it back on its doobly. Which way does it go? That way. But yes, I'm pretty sure there's no remote with that. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me. Don't think it had a remote. We haven't seen another lovely 70s cleaner. As I say, I've got a new in the box one of these. You might have seen that video. This isn't a new in the box one. And as I said, this didn't. Well, the seller, I can't believe the seller did this, but the seller sold this cleaner. I think he was fairly local to me because he delivered it by hand. He sold this cleaner and then he sold the toolkit separately, but he said the toolkit was for Hoover Constellation because it had a Constellation toolkit box, you know, with a little carry handle. So he said it was for that, but obviously looking at it, you could tell that the toolkit was for this. But somebody else won that. I won the vacuum. I didn't win the toolkit. So I thought, well, I do have I can't fit a hose to it. I do have a spare hose. Well, not a spare one. But fortunately, maybe a couple of weeks after, somebody listed this hose on eBay on its own. So at least I had a hose, and then I knew I had a spare telescopic wand, as well as I knew I had this nozzle. This is far more deluxe than this would have come with. It would have come with that basic nozzle with a single brush at the back, a little floating brush like this. But you know, this has nice big wheels. I love this shape. It's so 70s. That's a lovely color. This is in nice condition, not as good as my new in the box, but at least I can use this one. I don't think I'd want to use the new in the box one, mainly because you'll soon scratch up the bottom. Even so, look at that. It's had use, so I'm not so fussy about this one. I'd be quite happy to use it. I still wouldn't drag it over thresholds, and I wouldn't use it on an uneven hard floor. Probably still stick to carpets, but you know, it was all original. I think it does need a bit of work, but it polished up very well. I mean, that does look nearly new. I think it's got a bag in it. I can get it out. Yep. I've made my own filter. Obviously that had perished. It's got an original, well, it's not, it is a genuine, it's not original, but I think that's a genuine bag. I think Teresa mentioned she had a celebrity, so for Teresa, we'll fire up this bad boy. Still got the suppressor in it though. We don't want to blow it, we don't want to blow up, do we? I certainly don't want it blowing up. Hang on, there we go. Oh, incidentally, that lovely condition Hoover Constellation I showed you that had no suction whatsoever, it was the base that was distorted. I managed to hammer it roughly back into shape, and it now does have suction. But so yeah, that was a little bit disappointing. But anyway, I do have another one of those though, more or less unused. I've been very lucky. Well, it's not just luck. If you're on eBay as much as I am looking at vacuums, then law of averages, you are going to come across a machine that you've wanted for a while, but sometimes, of course, you have to pay dearly for it because other people want it, don't they? Right, will that do? I don't know if it'll pick up that big bit, will it? Oh, it's crikey, this is old dirt in that Dyson, because these are those little pearl things that you put in your washing machine to give an extra smell. I don't use them in a washing machine. Just adds to the more chemicals in your clothes. You know the sort of mean. You throw them in the washer, and then you put in powder or liquid and fabric softener. You know, but they're good for going inside vacuum cleaners. But the trouble is they can mark a hard floor when you go over them. But it'll be all right on this carpet. You can still smell them actually. Right, let's try out the Solarity. Pull out the telescopic wand. Now, don't blow up on me. Where's your on-off switch? You're there. There we go. I hope you can still hear me. Let me just check my hooks. I've still got a green light, so hopefully the battery is still working in my mic. There you go. The Celebrity certainly floated better than the Constellation. I think it's an 800 watt motor. So when it's not on, it is quite hard to pull along. It's amazing, obviously, when the motor's on, and of course it's exhausting out of that hole. It is very easy to pull along. Not so convenient on these stairs, but well, not too heavy. These stairs. It is all metal as well. Lovely. I mean, I think only Hoover could have come up with something like this. I mean, that's what I'm saying now. You see, now everyone is copying. Everything is mediocre. Not everything, but most vacuums are boring, mediocre new ones. Can you know, the 70s and even the 80s, but I think the 70s were a good year for Hoover. I mean, I've got, witch magazines from the 70s and brochures from the 70s, different makes, and they all look quite different, some of them. There's some really quirky models, and Hoover certainly did produce more than their fair share of quirky looking vacuums. They weren't necessarily very good, but as you know, as a design, as a piece of design, I think that don't know much about him, but I don't know if he's still alive, but there was an artist called Jeff Koons who did some rather kitsch camp art, and he actually featured some Hoover cleaners. And I think there is one that's got some celebrities, Hoover shampoo polishers and things. So, an artist saw some Hoover vacuums as pieces of art. You are supposed to wrap the cable around the top handle and this hook, but I don't. When I'm storing this, I just do that and then put a tie on. So what vacuums nowadays really that you can buy now that you would consider as a good design, as a work of art? I think Shark are the ugliest. I have to say, I do like this Stratos. It's hideous to look at. And yeah, it's only a vacuum, and if it does the job, if it picks up the muck, who cares what it looks like? But they're hideous. I'll say it now. I don't like the look of them. And now everyone's copying this form factor, which is just the most ugly looking vacuum. I don't know if you agree with me. Some of you might love the look of these. Look at the dirt, always on show. Yuck. Even the Dyson, you know, I mean, I think the Dyson's better looking than a Shark, you know, but it's still, you're still showing all your dirt all the time. The dirt's on show, isn't it? They never look. I laugh at those Dyson. I've looked at some Dyson maintenance videos of, you know, how to wash the filters, and they use a brand new machine. They're so sanitized. They use a brand new machine and they show you washing a brand new filter. They don't even show muck. When they empty the bin on an advert or something, the dirt comes out and the bin is left spotlessly clean. That's not real. That is not real life. I'll have to do some more Dyson maintenance videos and show real life of washing a dirty filter, the colour of the water in your sink, getting dust all over your hands. That's the reality of the Dyson and any bagless cleaner. They're a mess to empty. And I just, you know, that I'd prefer this looks wise to the Shark, but I prefer to use the Shark. The Shark to me is, I prefer to use it to this Dyson. But it's not a bad machine if you want a bagless mains powered upright. And yes, I do like the Seabo. That weighs a ton because the bag is absolute chock-a-block. But it's very pedestrian. You know, it's stylish enough. I mean, it's still, sorry about that. It's not a bad looking machine. I think it's quite bulky at the bottom, at the base. They could make it a bit sleeker. It's very retro, this. It just does remind me of Turbo Power 2 from the 90s. It's got that retro vibe, and it's a sensible vacuum. It'll do the job and it'll last many years. It can be repaired, it can be built. So I think comparing a Shark to a Seabo, a Shark will burn brightly. A Shark will burn very brightly. And I'm not talking about the motors setting fire. A Shark burns brightly and burns out quickly, but it does a very good job when it works. A Seabo might burn a little less bright, but it's going to consistently keep cleaning for longer periods without it going wrong. And, you know, I'm not sponsored by Seabo. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I very, very rarely get a free vacuum from any manufacturer anymore because I just don't accept them or don't allow manufacturers to be able to contact me to offer me them. And I do get offered stuff, but on the whole, I don't accept them. If Seabo were to offer me the cordless upright, if they do a domestic version, then that I will accept. And I think I do deserve that. After all the years I've plugged that company with nothing free from Seabo, no vacuums from them. But yes, I think we better wind up this live stream. I just decided to do it maybe 2 hours before I decided to do it. I've really enjoyed chatting with you. I hope you've enjoyed it. I think it's better if you have a little bit of a sort of. I mean, I had no idea what to do. I think it's better if you're doing a live stream, have a little bit of a plan of what you might be doing. But obviously, you know, what you do can also depend on the comments you get, and you can change. But I thought, yes, I'll read out Julian and the vacuum cleaner, and that I really enjoyed doing that. It's a nice little storybook. Like that was, yeah, I said I've had that ages and I've never read it because I'm a grown man. I shouldn't be reading children's books, but I think any young vacuum fans listening to that would have been really interesting and exciting, and I'm sure some parents would have recognized some of Julian's traits, you know, wanting a vacuum, because obviously children do ask for. I mean, I know from my shout out videos at Christmas of the young vac fans, I know that a lot do ask for vacuum cleaners, ask Santa for vacuums, and I think they tend to get them. But I suppose better to have a vacuum. I think the parents must be over the moon because you've given your son or daughter, it's normally boys that like them, you've given them a new vacuum for Christmas, and then the person who normally does the vacuuming can think, right, that's great. He or she has got the present they want, and now I won't have to vacuum very much because he or she will always be using the normally a Henry they go for, isn't it? What's that doing in the background? The light's going funny. Hmm. I think it's bouncing off my bald head. All right then, folks, I'll just get up to date with your comments, and then I think it's time for Betty Boat Pies because I wouldn't want to be doing this when the other half comes home. Oh, he keeps threatening to get a skip, you know, to bin all my cleaners. Well, he'd need more than one. He'd need lots of skips. Anyway, they're not all here, so he could only skip the ones that are here. Right, let's have a look. Oh heck, my battery's low on my. Hang on, we'll have to plug my computer in. Hang on. Oh dear. I'm going to have to hang on, folks. I'll have to unplug a light. There we are. I don't know what my electricity bill is going to be like. I'll plug my iPad back in if I can. There we are. My laptop. Ooh, shouldn't have got up so quick. That alcohol. Whew. We haven't seen my t-shirt. Hang on. I don't know if you should see. Hang on. I'll just take it off. I'll just. Oh no, I can't. Hang on. I'm just going to put my microphone down. Just wait. Go off camera. You don't. Right. You can see my breasts. Look. It's a Roomba. And it goes. You can't buy them anymore, folks, if you want to know. I've had it a while. It was some company, clothing company. I think they're Japanese. Uniqlo, Uniqueo or something. I don't know. Anyway, I saw it, and thought, oh look, and I was going to wear it when I do a Roomba video. Oh, he wants my password now, does it? Don't look. Don't look at my password. Am I still going? I think I'm still going. Just going to catch up on your comments. Oh, it's shut down. Can't do, I have to have Apple. I know some people don't like Apple stuff. I've had Apple stuff all my life, all my computing life. Well, apart from my first computer, which was a Sinclair ZX81. That's how old I am. And then that was followed by an Acorn Electron, which was a dumbed down version of a BBC Micro. And then I started getting Apple computers because my eldest brother had Apple computers and I got his hand-me-downs. So I'm completely Apple because I couldn't learn anything else. So it suits me anyway. It's because of this Apple computer and other ones before that you can see my videos, and I'm filming on an iPad. But it's just because I couldn't learn any new operating system, so I'm stuck with Apple. Right, hang on. I've going to have to make that bigger. There we are. Move it along. Oh heck. There we are. I think I can see it now. I hope you've had a nice 4th of July if you're in America. And if you're watching in the UK, what is the time? I've no idea. I won't be able to read everything out. I'll just try and get to where I should be. I expect you have missed the story, Alan. I don't know at that stage. You'll be able to watch this back anyway. No, that's not the Mint celebrity. Anyway, I've explained all that. So a lot of these questions I'll have answered while I was chatting. Hard to believe you've had the Mila since 2013. Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's quite an early video. You know, I very, very long videos. I mean, my videos are pretty long now, but they're probably half the length of what they used to be when I first started doing YouTube. But they could be a lot longer. I do a lot of editing. You know, I could have nearly 2 hours of footage sometimes that I've filmed, and that will turn into a 25-minute video. So there's a lot that just, and they're still too long for some people. But you know, if I do them too short, then I'll miss something out, and then people will say, "Well, you haven't said this, you haven't shown this." Um, my advice to anyone doing YouTube: just do it if you enjoy it, and if you become popular, and you know, I do have my silver play button. I'm not. Don't think I'm the biggest channel. Probably the biggest channel in the UK, but I never set out to be that. Um, just I don't know, just grew and grew. It took a long time. I didn't, you know, I wasn't an overnight sensation by any means, and you have to keep plodding on. But just start YouTube if you want to do YouTube. Just start it because you enjoy making the videos and sharing your interests, and that's why I started. And then obviously I found out that a lot of people. I knew that there were other collectors by then because you know before I was on YouTube, I was in forums and stuff. Growing up, I didn't know anyone who liked vacuums. You know, you sort of feel on your own. So that's the beauty now. Any children growing up now knows that they're not alone. There are other children who like vacuums in a similar way, and it's nice when I do my shout out videos showing the pictures of all the young vacuum fans with their big collections, and so other young people can watch and they can say, "Oh, I'm not alone." You know, as I said, I still can't get my head around the fact why I like these deep things. You know, I don't know, and I expect a lot of people watching wouldn't know why. What's the attraction? I mean, it will be odd to a lot of people, and so I sort of keep it quiet. But now I sometimes say, I mean, I still am a bit embarrassed if I mention I've got a YouTube channel because everyone says, "Oh, what's it about? What's it about?" Um, but yeah, obviously, YouTube is full of many different interests. I mean, that's the beauty of it, I suppose. You don't have to feel like you're the only one because there's always someone else that likes what you like, no matter how obscure it might be. Um, I don't. Alan is saying to the Elfin Knight, kids do get fascinated with some things, though, but the way he talks fondly about previous vacuums makes me wonder if it's the reason for his current interest. No, well, my current interest, I've never not been interested in vacuums. 18 months old, I mean, I didn't choose to just decide, let's think of a hobby. You know, I didn't go along and think, right, what can I do? What can I collect? I don't think vacuum cleaners would have been the first thing on my on my mind because they take up so much room. I just, you know, it's something very young. I mean, a lot of, you know, parents, if parents are watching who've got children who like vacuums, I expect they don't know why. I mean, it'll be like me that they'll have got the child would have sort of been fascinated when the vacuum came out, maybe, and maybe that's what it was as a child. It was like, "Ooh, what's that?" You know, and some children are scared of them, especially in the old time. You know, when they made a rumbling noise in the headlight and the bag inflated. For a small child, it can be a bit intimidating, maybe, because it looks so big. It's like a monster when you're a child. But I don't. I really have no idea. It's not something I chose to be interested in. So I don't think I'll stop. It's not a fad. I do have a lot of fads where I might be into something for a bit and then not be interested, and then maybe I'll come back to something and be interested in it, and then just forget it. But vacuums, I can't stop. As much as I hate them, I absolutely hate them sometimes. I just can't stand. I just think, can't I be normal? just have one or two. But then I have to think, well, my silly obsession with vacuums is the reason. I mean, I don't have to go out to work anymore because I can just do this. I can just do YouTube, and I don't have to go and do a boring minimum wage job anymore because of this ridiculous interest in vacuum cleaners. So I have to, it's a double-edged sword. I'm grateful on one hand, but on the other hand, I think, oh, can't you just be normal? I'm a freak. Um, but at least I know I'm a freak, and my partner works in mental health care, and he has told me several times that I'm not mentally ill, and because I'm aware that it's not normal as such. It's a bit odd. At least if you have self-awareness that, and any obsession, not just vacuums, whatever people are interested in, because people are obsessed with all sorts of things. My partner likes cars, not to the point he could collect them and can't afford them, but it's always looking at car videos on YouTube, and a lot of people like cars, and you might be able to understand why people like cars. But a lot of people like cars probably the same way that some people like vacuums. It's the nostalgia, the history, the tinkering with them. But it don't do anyone any. I'm not doing any harm, hopefully, to anyone by putting videos up. I'm hoping that I entertain, I inform. I expect I annoy a lot of people as well. And I've got haters. I know I have. Um, but I think I've got more people that like what I do than don't like. So I'll continue for as long as I can to make videos on this channel, and hopefully you'll continue to watch them. Um, looks like a chunky little tortoise. Oh, yes, I suppose it does, the celebrity. Yes, it is a nice colour, Vatland, that the orange of that celebrity. It's very 80s, no, very 70s colour, not 80s. It's the 70s. What year? I think it's missing part of the doodah. The serial number's missing. Can't see it with my lenses. S3005 for, I think it's 74. 1974. Yeah, just like to travel back in time and go around all the electrical shops in the 70s. Oh. One day there might be over-the-counter time machines. Dyson might do one, but I don't know if I'd buy Dyson. I'd certainly, if Sebo did one, I'd buy a Sebo time machine, I think, rather than a Dyson, as long as it still had a dust bag. UK 2020 prefers commercial hoovers. Well, I've got a few commercial vacuums, but they're okay, but they're not really suited for a domestic home. Some of them, anyway. Well, thank you. It's been fab, says Elfin Knight. Darren would like to find an old Grand National in great shape. I don't know what that is. Obviously, some sort of vacuum. A Grand National, for somebody in the UK, is a horse race. The Grand National is an annual horse racing thing where some horses, unfortunately, get killed during that. Teresa liked the story. I enjoyed that. I'll have to do it again. Story time with Roger. Elfie Knight says, get on Roger's bits and doings and get drunk. No, that wouldn't be very responsible. Who's lost weight? I certainly haven't. You can't be talking to me because I've put weight on. I did lose weight by only having one meal a day, and then I started eating again, unfortunately. So I'm a fat. Some of you who follow me on Instagram and Facebook will see what I looked like when I was a child. Quite young, very slim. I mean, it was people weren't fat in the 70s as they are now. You look at old photos of the 70s, people on beaches in every, America, UK, you don't often see fat people. And when I was growing up, it was unusual to see a fat child. There was one girl who I had a bit of a crush on. I know it's odd. in my class, I won't mention who she is. She won't be watching, but she was a little bit podgy. She wasn't obese. She was a little bit podgy, and it wasn't normal for, we went out, we played sports, we climbed trees. We weren't indoors on the internet and playing video games. We were out having adventures when I was growing up. Although I am a homebody. I do like to be at home. But yeah, we used to make tree houses and underground dens and just go out. It was just like endless, school holidays in the summer. I lived in a village that was next to a field, and when it was time to harvest the crops, we used to do the hay bales. Now I think they wrap them in black plastic, but when I was a kid, they were sort of just square bales of hay. We used to sort of gather them up and make houses out of them. The farmer never seemed to mind, and dig trenches out and get an old bit of wood and then cover it and make underground camps. And we'd dig out little pigeonhole things in the wall and put candles in, get a bit of old carpet. Oh, crikey, that's a long time ago. Even though I did that, I was still always on the hunt for vacuum cleaners, looking at vacuum cleaners. My school friends knew that I liked vacuum cleaners. Used to go into a town called Crawley in Sussex, which is the next town from where I lived. I used to go on my bike on Saturdays, sometimes with some school friends, and they always knew that I'd have to go around the electrical shops, the electricity board, Rumbelows, and the Co-op, Currys, and get the leaflets. So you always used to come home with loads of vacuum leaflets, and sometimes I'd nick the odd instruction book if I saw one. I often used to if you open they sometimes used to put instruction books and other leaflets inside dishwashers and whatnot. I used to open them up and just sort of just thinking, oh, I'll just take that. Thinking it. I mean, I don't know if it was stealing really, but I mean, there were, I remember acquiring a sense of tronic instruction book from Rumbelows in Crawley. I probably shouldn't have had. But because it didn't have a price on it, I thought, oh, it's all right. I would, if anyone had said anything, which they didn't, I'd have said, oh, I thought it was a leaflet. I was taking it for my mum. She's looking for a new vacuum. I used to use the line every time I used to go into Croydon, which was a train ride away. And I used to, maybe once every couple of months when I'd saved up enough pocket money and I'd got my interest from loaning my elder brother's money. I've told this story before, but some of you might not have heard it. I used to be a loan shark when I was a child. I used to earn money from a paper round, and then I did a Saturday and a Thursday night job at Sainsbury's. My brothers worked at Sainsbury's as well, and they got their pay actually in a little brown envelope with money in it every week on a Thursday, I think it was. And by the weekend, they'd more or less spent up. And I was saving my money because I was saving it for vacuum cleaners. So they'd come cap in hand asking me, can I borrow £10? Can I, blah, blah. Because I said they'd spent everything up. So I said yes. And I had a little book and they had to write out an IOU and sign it. So I'd lend them £10. And then the next Thursday, they'd have to give me £15 back. So that's how I managed to buy so many vacuums when I was younger. Because I was a loan shark. I should have kept on with that. I would have been a millionaire by now. But yeah, so I used to go to Croydon on the train from where I used to live, and I had free train travel because my dad worked for British Rail. And if you're under 18, the children got a free pass, and it was basically you got a certain number of free train rides a year. You just filled in the date in this box, and it was first class as well. I never forget time. One of my brothers was a bit scruffy, long hair, and he had a denim jacket with sort of heavy metal badges on. So he was a bit scruffy. And I remember going up to London with my brother. I think we were on the way to Leeds, and we go to London first. And he was, we were sitting in the first class carriage, which in those days was separate, like 6 people could go in them, and there was a corridor. So we would be sitting in first class, and of course oh, what's that doing? My MacBook's gone off. So we'd be sitting in first class, and of course the guard who came around to check the tickets obviously thought these kids can't possibly have first class tickets, and he said to my brother, "Oi, you! get out, you're not first class. To my brother, just with a big grin on his face, from the top pocket of his denim jacket, took out the pass and went like that. And then the man was all apologetic. Oh, sorry, because I don't think all the employees of British Rail got first class free travel. I think probably they got second class, but my dad was a manager, so we got first. So it was all apologetic. But I'm not surprised he didn't think my brother was first class material because he looked a scruff. I looked probably well dressed, you know. So that was marvelous. So I used to take my free first class thing. I'd go to East Croydon, go to a big department store called Alders, and I'd go to Alders and select the vacuum I decided, because sometimes I didn't know which one I was going to get. I would have an idea. Obviously, I'd have been looking through the brochures for weeks before, thinking which one shall I buy next, saving up the money. So I'd be going, you know, I was quite young, going with about 140, 150 pounds in cash with me to buy a vacuum. So I'd go to Alders, and it was it was a fantastic place. They had all of the models out, everything. You could play with them. Oh, wish I could go back there. And then I used to select the model, and I used to buy it first thing. I used to say, all right, I'll have that one. So I used to go up and say, can I have that vacuum, please? And they must have thought, what's this young boy doing with all this money? And I just said, oh, it's a birthday present. I used to just say, it's my birthday present for my mum. So I used to give them the money, and then I used to say, can you keep it for me and I'll collect it? I've got a bit more shopping to do. So I'd have it reserved, and I was all giddy, anticipating getting that vacuum home. And then I'd go around the rest of Croydon, and I'd go to Woolworths and see if there was a music cassette I wanted to buy, maybe some sweets. And I normally would finish off at Marks and Spencer and treat myself to some cheese tasters and cream scones that they did. I still do them. Just some, you know, nice. And then I would go after I'd got my new cassette. It would either been an ABBA cassette or a Barbara Dixon one, and maybe I would have got a bit of stationery that I needed for school. And I would have gone around the electrical shops and picked any leaflets up I could. And then when I'd finished that, um, last thing, I would check the train times. I think my train's going to be so and so. I'd go back to Alders, give them a receipt. Can I collect my vacuum? Take it, carry it up to the station, get in the first class carriage, put it in front of me. Normally, I had it to myself. I'd have the vacuum on the seat in front of me. I might be looking at a brochure, and I'd be sort of, oh, I can't wait to get that home. I know I'm absolutely, just thinking about that makes me smile. I know it's absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, that was a lot of my childhood. Just, and fortunately, my parents allowed me when we went shopping with my parents. They didn't mind going around vacuum shops. My eldest brother, when we used to go to London, he was quite happy to trawl around the vacuum shops so I could get leaflets and look at the vacuums. And I know that happens now, maybe not as much. You can't pick up leaflets really now, but I'm sure parents of young vacuum fans will know the feeling of having to go and look at the vacuums, probably in Walmart or wherever, Curry's in the UK. So, oh, that was nice. That was nice to go back there. I always recall those memories of buying new vacuums. I mean, how bizarre. I don't know what I don't. I mean, I think people of my age would have wanted Star Wars toys and stuff like that, and maybe a big track, electronic thing that you could program and moves around. That's probably what they wanted. And I was just after vacuum cleaners all the time. Mental. Oh right, hang on. I've got the top chat on instead of live chat, so I can't. I want to. I'm trying to round off um, the doodah because nobody's going to watch this back. Why? I want to all. Oh, here we go. No, live chat. There we go. Just try and get caught up, and then I best go because the other half will be coming through that door before too long, and you certainly wouldn't want to be on camera. Well, why is that not happening? I can see you making comments, but it's oh heck, I've lost the chat altogether now to see my ugly face. Is that? Oh, I can hear myself. No, I shouldn't be able to hear myself. Stop. Would would go wrong. Is that sub? No, that's subtitles. I've lost the chat, folks. Oh, there it is. Right, come on. Get on with it, Rog. What are you talking to me? What was I drinking? Brothers strawberries and cream English cider. Hardly any hardly any alcohol in that. What did you use to edit when you first started YouTube? I don't know. Because the first sort of videos on YouTube, I was actually using a camcorder with a little tape in it. And so I don't think I edited because I didn't know how to. So I tried to edit on the go. I just sort of filmed a bit and then stopped recording and then moved whatever I was filming and then started recording again. I think that's what I did. And it was a while. I now use the iMovie on the MacBook. And even when I started using that, I didn't know about all the features. I didn't know how you could make the camera zoom in and out after you've filmed in post-production. I didn't know how to do anything. I just picked it up as I went along. You are late, Mark, but I'll be leaving this up. I don't think I've said anything too naughty. Teresa says, I think Ben's obsessions are pretty unique. He's got the whole vacuum and washing machine thing going on, but he also adores Peeps, the chick and bunny marshmallows from Easter. And we don't have those in the UK. Don't ring a bell. Miles, first thing I walked to was Mum's Hoover. The hobby obsession was downhill from there. Andrew's channel, can I wash a feather pillow in my 8 kilogram Miele? Yes, you could. There is a down setting. Well, mine has a down washing program. So I'd wash it on the down setting. And I think when you wash it on the down, I think you have to add your own detergent. So you'd use delicate detergent. I haven't. My pillows are made of latex. There are some very old Dunder pillow ones and some Sealy ones. I'm not sure if they're washable, but I have washed pillows in the past. I can fit my double duvet in my Miele, even my higher tog one, I think, as well. Mark likes appliances in general. Yeah, I like other appliances as well. Obviously, vacuums are the main one. I do like washing machines, probably second. And then, if it's got a plug, I'm quite interested in it. I'm more interested in white goods, as they were called, or still are, than brown goods. So I'm more interested in domestic appliances than technology appliances. I use technology, but I'm not interested in it. I use it because I need to use it. But it's not something I'm interested in. It's just like a regular person uses a vacuum. They're not interested in the design. They're not interested in history of the vacuums. It's just a thing that does a job, and that's me in technology. I just use it to help me do something. But yes, I do like. I've got another food mixer coming up on the channel from, I think it was from 1990. So it's a bit older. It's made in the UK food mixer. And there's other little small appliances that are of interest. Obviously, the vacuums are the main interest. Is it a vacuum in that blue box? No, it's a Bissell. It's a Bissell Spot Clean Pro that I bought from the shopping channel Ideal World. I just got there in time before the channel went down. So I don't know if people are going to get, if anyone's ordered from Ideal World in the last few days. Hopefully, they'll still get their orders. It looks like they might come back. I don't know, but it's. I had a feeling that the Ideal World shopping channel was in trouble because they kept showing the same things over and over. These rattan furniture thing, and an air conditioner, and it was these shelves. I mean, it was boring, and they kept showing pre-recorded stuff. So a lot of people in the forum I follow were expecting it to go, and it just went. It just disappeared. They were just filming as normal, and then a thing came up saying we've had to take down. They've taken down the website and the TV channel, and I got that Bissell Spot Clean at a very, very good price, and it only just turned up today, so I'm glad that's arrived. Oh, sorry, don't touch the mic. Vacland 9859. I've been repairing and collecting vacuums since I was 2. I'm 23 now, and it's like you never get tired of them, but certain machines do fall out of favor. Yeah, it's like me. Some summer flavor of the month. Sometimes I'm really into a certain brand for a little while. I might think, oh, I want to get into Dysons again or Sharks, or then I'll go back to, oh, I'm only interested in the 70s vacuums now at the moment. So it does chop and change all the time. But I mean, they're all vacuums, obviously, but yeah. UK 2020 uses a pneumatic PPR 240-11. He cleans homes for his job. Oh, David. Oh, not David. We said that about the Woolworths. Where's that Woolworths thing gone? No, I suddenly lost it. Oh, Alan says Woolworths were very generous having free sweets on display for everyone. No, they weren't free. I know as kids you used to have the odd, I think I probably did as well. I don't think I did pick and mix much because I was never, especially if it was, I was going with my own pocket money, because I think I was always worried that I wouldn't have enough money. You'd take the bag and then they'd say, and you'd think, oh, I haven't got enough, and then you'd have to take some out. So I don't think I did pick and mix much. I'm old enough to remember halfpenny sweets, penny sweets and halfpenny, and then there was 2 penny sweets that normally sort of in a little tray thing at the counter. I used to go to this sweet shop on the way home from school, and you'd say, well, you just pick them, and fruit salad and blackjacks, I remember mostly. What robot vacuums do you use, Colton? Colton's obsessed with robot vacuums. I don't use any of them at the moment. But now I've got I don't know if you've seen the Dyson in operation. Now I've got that out, I might sort of have another go with that. I like vacuuming too much, that's the trouble. Excuse me. Teresa says, this is way better than watching that Sting guy. Yes, it doesn't appeal watching that Sting guy, but I'm sure my partner's enjoyed it. But it's not my... So it's because my partner's gone out, I've been able to chat to you this evening. So, go out more, that's what I say. David says, love your passion, Roger, for the vacuum cleaners. I know, it's odd. It's odd though, isn't it? It's not right. We're wired a bit different, I think. People that like vacuums, we're special, not special needs. We're special, I suppose. Look, we're all different, aren't we? We're all different. Some of us happen to like vacuums. I don't know if anyone can say why. I mean, some people have anecdotes of why it sparked an interest, and some maybe have come to it later on in life. But for me, it was not a conscious effort for me because I was very, very young. No, I've never thought, Fast Lane Studios, about getting a Ricard because they don't sell them over here, and I'm not spending a load of money on a vacuum to import that I don't know if I like. The only vacuums I tend to import from the United States are the older Hoover ones, and a lot of them are ones I remember I knew about growing up but could never buy them because they were unavailable, and I didn't have the money. I almost imported a Concept 1. Hoover UK were going to help me get one, but in the end I couldn't afford it. I don't think I was working, or I might have had a job, but I wasn't earning much. So yes, it tends to be the American imports on the whole. I think they've all been Hoovers, some newer ones, and obviously vintage. I don't think there was. I think they're all Hoover ones because it does cost a lot of money to import. I mean, sometimes I go to Amazon and the cleaners themselves quite reasonable, but then it's the shipping and the import charges, and then that just can sometimes triple the cost. I've been very lucky. I mean, that Hoover Portable, that was the last one I imported, I think. That almost mint. Hoover Portable, because they're so rare in this country. And if that Mint Portable had been a UK version, was put on eBay, that would have gone for hundreds of pounds. But I think I paid $65, whatever that is in the pound equivalent, and then it wasn't that bad. The shipping wasn't too much. So yes, I'm not. I can't afford to keep importing loads of different vacuums. There's nothing that takes my fancy. I think I've got mostly all the vacuums I want to collect. Something might turn up on eBay that, oh, I've got to have that. But on the whole, I've got most of the ones I wanted, but there's always more to buy. Regarding newer models that anyone can buy now, then I just tend to sell them on, which I'm doing on eBay at the moment, just trying to start chip away at some of the more modern vacuums that I'm not, they're interesting to show you and they're interesting at the time, but they're not something that I want to take up room in my house or storage unit. So a lot, I expect that Shark and Dyson will go at some point fairly soon. Just sold a Samsung on eBay. I sold another Shark a couple of days ago. So there's a lot of modern cleaners. In order to keep my content current for people who are just looking to buy a vacuum, I've got to buy new ones, but then I sell them, and hopefully I won't get all the money back that it costs me, but it's hopefully the revenue from the video will sort of make up that difference. So yeah, because I don't accept loads of freebies. Which Colton, you keep asking me. I keep answering what Dyson. I can't even remember what Dyson robot. Oh no, sorry. I thought you said iRobot. No, you haven't asked me. The Dyson ones I've got are I've only got two. There's only been three as far as I know. Well, there's been four if you include the prototype one that was never launched. So I've got the first sort of mass-produced one. Then I've got the blue version. That's it. I'm no plans on buying the latest version. As I said, I've been put off that by a video of an Australian gentleman that bought one and he returned it. Didn't look very good, and it's a ridiculous price. It's not available yet here. So I've no plans. Oh yes, that's right. Elfin Knight has corrected me. I did import the Electrolux Automatic G, which I gave away, and the Dyson Air Muscle, which I still have that. I must do something with that at some point. But the Electrolux Automatic G got given to another collector. Will I be doing an unboxing of the self-emptying Roomba? Yes, I will at some point. I've got quite a few robot vacuums and robot floor washers. My eBay shop is called ibaisaic_Emporium. And there's a few things. They're not all vacuums. There's about 7 things on sale, or 6 because oh, hang on. I know who that is. Oh, I'm still live on YouTube. Well, all right. Well, you'll show your face. Try. Well, if you did you have a nice time with Sting? Yeah. Oh, good. Right, I'm just trying to finish up. So, oh, you see, I didn't leave the back gate open. He'll beat me later on when the camera's off. I'll be black and blue later. Right. I've done what my eBay shop is. I only ship to the UK though, I'm afraid. Darren owns a direct drive Kenmore like my Panasonic Icon. Yes, I've still got that. I had 2, but one was broken and I sold the one that was broken. So I've still got that one. I like that Panasonic. It's a shame Panasonic exited the market. I think you can still buy Panasonic in the Far East, like Japan, but certainly not in the UK. Yes, I know about the Japanese Dysons, the flip-flap channel. I've seen some of them. They would cost a fortune to import, I think. I've seen some of them, the little. I've got some. I think I've still got the tiny Dysons. I think they're the ones I'm keeping. The really small. I can't remember the models. Not that interested in them, but I do like that the little one that fits on a A4 size piece of paper. Mark's having a cup of tea. I can hear the kettle. How do you post the vacuums? What courier? Well, I tend to mainly use Parcel Force, sometimes Hermes or Every, they're called now. It depends on the value of the item. If the vacuum hasn't sold for much, or it's just a low value one, and it's a smaller box, then I'll use Every. But normally for a full size vacuum, I just get Parcel Force, and I normally use Parcel Force 48. It's about £12 or so, £11.50 something. And you book it online, they collect it. You must make sure everything's packed properly, as my viewers will know. I've unboxed vacuums that are broken from insufficient packaging. So always go overboard with your packaging. You shouldn't be able to shake the box and hear movement. It should be well protected. Take off the wheels if the wheels come off easily, because they break, as I know. But yeah, it's a lot of work to eBay. It takes up a lot of time, but it is easier when you get them. You can actually take the parcels. It's a bit cheaper if you take the parcel to the post office or whatever. But for me, it's just easier just to book the collection. You have to wait in, and they collect it. So that's what I normally do. Oh, I won't say hi to him, Teresa. I can't. I don't know what the time is. Yeah, you see, the thing is, he's come through the front door, because I locked the gate when he went out and forgot to open it. Do you know Australia is home of spiders? Well, guess what? Dyson vacuum cleaners have a very powerful cyclonic technology that actually kills spiders in the dust collection area. Well, I wouldn't kill the spiders. I know you have some big ones in Australia, but I would be more inclined to try and take them out without killing them. So I don't like killing anything if I can avoid it. So the fact that Dyson vacuums kill spiders is not a good selling point for me. Colton says, do you think you could do Robot Week kind of? Yeah, that's a possibility. But as I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you were here, to demonstrate robotic vacuums, you need an uncluttered house. And at the moment, my house is very cluttered. It's getting there. But once it's less cluttered, then that is a possibility. I could just get rid of all my robot vacuums in 1 week. I mean, I must have at least 7 that you've not seen. So that's a possibility. That's something to think about. Yes, Teresa, like using all your week's recycling. I mean, that's an oldish video. I've had that vacuum, that Hoover Compact, a while, with the milk cartons and the washing liquid. I wasn't going to put that up, because since that video, I got another one of those, exactly the same model, but it was in the original box and it was in much better condition. So I still filmed that video, so I wasn't going to do the first one, but because of the unusual packaging, I thought, oh, well, I'll put that up. So you still might see that vacuum again, but another one. And the first one will get sold. I'm going to clean it up and sell it, because I don't want two, pardon me, I don't want two exactly the same. Right, oh, cracky, it's in top chat again. Oh, so annoying. It's not letting me go to all live chat. What's it doing? It's just, oh, here we go. Live chat, thank you. Come on. It's nearly my bedtime, folks. I don't know what the time is. I've no idea. Must be after. It's after 11. Right, hang on. Oh, what's going on? Just stop it. It's you see, technology annoys me. Oh, there we go. It's live chat. That's what frustrates me more than anything. Technology, when it doesn't work, it's fine when it works, but when it plays silly buggers, I just want to smash it. I have broken several printers in the past that stopped printing and just thrown them at the wall. I haven't done that for a long time though. I think I've managed to calm myself. I just say, calm down, Roger. Just don't get upset. Greggles Magic says, I'll just say Dyson is not worth the price. How dare Dyson force bagless cleaners upon us and claim to be the best there is? It's after 11. Right, is that everything? Let's see. Well, I've really enjoyed this evening. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you're watching on the catch up, I hope you enjoy it. I've enjoyed it. It's just been a bit of a well, it wasn't last minute, but I wasn't planning on doing a live stream when I woke up this morning. But I thought I might as well. But it's way past a lot of your bedtimes, I expect. So good night to you. Hopefully I'll do some more of these. I did give people a bit of notice this time. I made a mistake with the scheduling of it or something. I don't know. I've never done it. I've normally just, on my other channel, I just sort of just go live whenever as the mood takes me. But I thought I'll give a little bit of notice on this channel so people have a chance to join me live if they want to. So Flip Flap channel says thank you. And yes, I probably will do more live streams in the future. Now, I have had, I don't know if I got more than one donation. It's too late to go back now, but thank you for the donation or the donations. I think I might have had 2 donations. One day we might get a multi-millionaire who watches my channel and decides to give me, you know, I don't know, a few £100,000 so I could buy a bigger house to put all these vacuums in and get myself a nice utility room and maybe an outbuilding. I can have a studio set up, permanently have my lights set up so I can keep it away from the house and have a nice storage area. So yes, any millionaires watching, billionaires, you know, well, just give me the money directly and then YouTube will take most of it if you do it via YouTube. So can't have that, can we? Can't have YouTube nicking all the money. Right, well, I haven't been able to mention everyone, but hopefully most of you have had a mention. When's the next Roger? I don't know who Roger is, but Roger without a D. I don't know when Roger's Bits and Doings next video is up, but I do have a few that need editing. Right, well, CAFG97, a shampooer is for washing your carpets, a vacuum cleaner is for cleaning up dry debris. I never knew that. If Henry hoovers lose suction, do I have to empty the dust collection area? Well, a Henry vacuum with a HEPA flow bag should keep its suction pretty much decent until the bag is absolutely chock-a-block full. I think you get a bit of reduced suction, but a Henry will maintain its suction for quite a long time. And yes, if you notice a drop in suction, then yes, put a new bag in. Right, off you pop. So I don't think you'll be on camera. No, it's all right. You haven't seen him. 1990. It's like we don't sleep in the same bedroom, so I can go up. He's taken Molly with him. Oh, Daisy. Oh, she's just woken up. I'll have to show you Daisy. She's been asleep for the whole thing on the bed. Oh no, she's gone back to sleep. I won't show you Daisy, but I've got to take her out when I go to bed because she comes with me to bed, but she needs to go out to do a little pee pee before I take her upstairs because I'm not having her peeing on my memory foam. My legs are going to sleep. Oh, Teresa says, but my husband and I wouldn't have gotten into vacuums without Ben's interest. But you know, you're very good, Teresa, and your husband for supporting Ben and his little interests. Some parents might have just said, no, you're not having this. That's not normal. You're a little boy. You shouldn't have vacuums. You know, some might have done that. So, you know, I think he's lucky to have parents that sort of encourage him. And, you know, and if that rubs off on you, that's even better, isn't it? Teresa loves learning about sewing machines. Vacuums aren't too. I quite. I used to play about with my mum's. She had a Singer. I think it might have been her mum's. It's quite old. It was brown. It had a lovely smell, and again, vintage things. It just had that sort, you know, that little motor. It had the little light. I used to sort of just do little. Didn't make anything. I just used to like playing about. You could hand crank it, but it also, you know, had the electric motor and the pedal. And a little sort of compartment for your bobbins and your needles and stuff. I mean, I do enjoy in the UK. We have a show called the Great British Sewing Bee, and it's a prime time BBC One show now, where it's like a sewing competition. So there's about 12 people at the start, and they're given tasks. You know, they have to do made to measure and or take some garments and change them into something else. And there's a recycling challenge where they're using old bits of material. And I really like that. I mean, I'm not so keen on this series, the latest one. It hasn't grabbed me as much as the other ones, but and I've sort of thought, shall I get a sewing machine? And I think no, because I won't have time, and it'll be another fad of mine. I'll have spent loads of money on the equipment and then end up not using it. But I do enjoy watching other people, and I'm amazed at how other people can just make clothes. You know how they can make from bits of fabric. They can create a garment. I don't think I could do it. We did it at school. We, you know, even the boys had to do. So it's called needlework class when we were much younger, which I quite liked. But it was more, I was more interested in the sewing machine than the actual sewing. So it's anything. It's things with motors, things that move. I think are interesting to me. But things that suck up dirt are even more interesting. I will be, I don't know if I've answered it, Colton. I will be unboxing that self-emptying Roomba if I know where it is. Oh, I've answered that. Just I'm gonna wind it up. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. Oh, crikey! Why have you minimised the picture? I could see myself at the corner of my eye because there's a delay. Saw myself doing that, and then I'm going to see myself doing that again. Yeah, just now. So there's a delay, a few seconds. Right, I think that's it. I think it's time for bed for me anyway. I expect it's it's not bedtime in the United States yet. So hopefully you've got more of your 4th of July celebrations, and I expect a lot of you possibly had the day off today. I think it is a holiday for you, isn't it? It's not just a normal day for us in the UK. So, right, well, I'm going to go to bed soon. I'm going to have to leave all this and sort this out tomorrow. But I've really enjoyed this evening. I hope you have. How long have I been on for? 194 minutes, whatever that is. Crikey. That's more than 3 hours. 3 hours talking about vacuum cleaners. Right then. Oh, how do I stop this? Oh, no, I'm not on that. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're catching up after the event, if you can comment under this video, if you'd like to, if you want to share your memories of why you started liking vacuums, share them under this video if you want to, and I will be back at some point maybe with another live stream, and hopefully they'll be all different I'll bring out another load of different vacuums. I'm going to my mum's in a few weeks, and I will have the house to myself. So possibly I'll do a live stream from her house where I've got access to a lot of more vacuums there in her loft, so I can bring some down and do another live stream then. I think that would be the best thing. And you can see my mum's lovely, cute dogs as well, which you will have seen if you follow me on Roger's Bits and Doing. So go over and subscribe to that if you want to, because not many people do. Right, suck my belly in. Hopefully, this is pretty good. It's a new thing, quite cheap. It came with two, and there's a little transmitter that plugs into the iPad. So I think it's hopefully worked all right. You can see my breasts. So good night, and thanks for watching. I need to press this button, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.